Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Adrian here. What's up? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another live stream. I've been streaming a bunch this week on Twitch. So on the weekend, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna set something up for YouTube to just hang out with you guys here on YouTube, and hopefully I'll be on for quite some time because there's lots to show off with Guild Wars 2's latest episode. You may have already seen both my reviews that I put out this week. The story playthrough. You know my thoughts on the story. No need to spoil it for people that haven't finished it. And I did say I was going to check out, the map activities, the map meta, the collections, and the Shatterer, that new map boss or world boss or whatever. I think the timer's every 2 hours, and it's going to happen in about 10 minutes. So hopefully we'll get to show that off too. But as you can see, this is going to be a interesting stream because I am currently collecting all the Requiem armor skins. I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing that right. It's early for me. I just woke up. Yeah, I know. My sleep times is gone. But I'm completed this map, 100% of this character, and I've got 7 other alts at 80 that I usually comb through this area to do the daily heart tasks. So I'm going to show that off too. And really, we'll just talk about the map in general and all the new activities to do. So first thing I want to do before heading out to the Shatterer area, where I believe there's going to be pre-events up and stuff, is show you guys Sun's Refuge. Those of you guys that have followed the live stream of me playing through the story, you may have seen the kind of empty, barren Sun's Refuge, where you're unlocking Sun's Refuge. For those that haven't gotten this far or don't know what it is, it's basically a personal instance where the more you play through the Guild Wars 2 Start to Guide a story, the more stuff you unlock, the more features you unlock. And at this stage, I believe I'm about 90% kind of done with it. We got Wigga in chat says good morning. Good morning, Wigga. You are early. What is it, 7 a.m.? But yeah, here's one thing though. First of all, Sun's Refuge. I got here with this portal, the Sun's Refuge portal scroll, and this is part of a collection achievement reward that you get from Timey. She was building a nest for Aurene, and once you complete that collection, you do get that scroll, which automatically ports you to this new and improved, finalized Sun's Refuge. I got 2 complaints about Sun's Refuge so far. One is that the portal that you get here, it doesn't go into your Season 4 portal scroll thing. Damn it. Yeah, my inventory is a cluster F right now. Let me just look for it. Oh no, please tell me I did not throw it away. Okay, but just to let you guys know, like, there's gonna be a Living World Season 4 tome where you can store all your portals inside. So you just have to double click the portal or double click the tome, and then you can go to wherever you want. The Sun's Refuge portal scroll doesn't go into that, which is a real pain in the butt because it just takes... Oh, there it is, right here. So double clicking on that, you'll see I've already got 2 in there. One is the Domain of Ishtan and one more is Jahai Bluffs. But when you click on the Sun's portal scroll, it doesn't go in there like the other scrolls. It's just its own thing. So that's one more inventory slot that it takes away that I'm kind of annoyed at. Secondly is that when you click on that scroll, it doesn't take you here to the middle of Sun's Refuge. It actually takes you to the beginning, right up there. So you see I had to ride all the way down here just to get to Sun's Refuge. So that's an annoyance, just a tiny annoyance. I hope they work on that and make that like a portal right to the middle. So from the story, you will remember that I was right here lighting the flame and everything, trying to set some light to this area. Look at it now. This is the almost finalized, finished version of Sun's Refuge, and it looks awesome. One of the cool features too is this little jukebox robot here, this golem. When you click on him, you can play music in Sun's Refuge, which is kind of cool. You can play music from the Season 4, from the Pathfire expansion, and get this from Nightfall, which is one of the the first Guild Wars game. Nightfall is one of their kind of like standalone expansions, I think, and you can play soundtracks from the old game. So this is a nice kind of like throwback to the old game, so that's kind of cool. So basically, I've picked up all kinds of collections here, and you'll know that there are collections because they have like an icon above their heads. So for example, remember what I said about Timey? Yeah, she had a collection to just spice up Aurene's area here, the nest. So you had to go around Jahai Bluffs and collect various different things. and also go to NPCs that you have been to before, or the NPCs that Aurene has helped in the past, and collect items from them. And this is the result of that. Blankets, this is a music skull that you can actually play. And there's a bunch more collections, and I'll go through all of that. This is nice though. The 4 different corners are basically just 4 different things. So the top left here, this is where you unlock the armor collection, this person here. And the one thing that I will say about the armor collection so far is that it has a good story to it. I kind of enjoyed that. It has a really nice story. And that is the Nightfall theme playing in the background, which is kind of loud, isn't it? Over here, you've got all your recruited Sun Spears just chilling out, training and everything. I like this. It's starting to come alive now, even though, yeah, it is scripted. It does feel, Sun's Refuge so far, it does feel like it is your own. There's an area here where you'll start to get drops of runes in your inventory space, and when you put them in the right slots at the daily reset, it kind of unlocks this door over here, which gives you like a crappy loot chest. Let me just see if I have some runes. I do actually, but not enough. But yeah, killing enemies, different style of enemies will drop different types of runes, and when you put them all together, if you can do it faster than I think 30 seconds or whatever it was, you'll get an achievement as well, and then you open the door. So there's a lot going on in Sun's Refuge, and really just go out and do some of the content. You'll unlock this thing and get a bunch of those stuff. I'll go over that soon. I'm just waiting for another couple of minutes, then we'll go out and check out the Shatterer. This is an alternate entry into Sun's Refuge. Outside here is the Pact Vanguard camp, whereas on the northern side, you go out to Ventus Pass and then over to Almora Stang where the Shatterer is. So that's a quick tour. I'll be back with more info on that. There's so much hidden achievements here too, guys. There's a pair of goggles up there. So that's where you want to get your hidden Dive Master achievement. You can see it right there, diving goggles. And you'll also notice there's lots of griffins hanging around Sun's Refuge. Like up there, there's one griffin. And there's a total of, I think, 22 griffins in Sun's Refuge. And there's a hidden achievement too. You want to get up to all of them, and then emote type /Neil, and so you're kind of paying homage to all these griffins, and you do get an achievement for that. So that's a quick tour of my Sun's Refuge, which I really like so far. I kind of like it. Oh, check it in chat. We got Eric DA in chat. Hey Eric, he says Sun's Refuge portal scroll not fitting to tome. Apparently it is a bug. It is a bug. Thank you for clearing that up. I was kind of wondering. And that's good news too. I will talk about bugs in a second. Comparing this episode, episode 3, last episode 3, Long Live Village, to this episode. Episode 4 had a ton of bugs in the first couple of days compared to the last 2 episodes, which is kind of annoyance. Some of the bugs were really hard hitting ones too, because they kind of halted progress. Like I pick heavy armor because this is my guardian, and to get further in the armor collection for the map, you had to finish the heart, go to the heart vendor, and buy an item, a mist forged item, or mist something item. But the heart vendor that for heavy armor, if you picked heavy armor or you unlocked the skin, you couldn't get it, like it disappeared. So a lot of us were stuck on that step in the part 2 of the armor collection for so long. That's a crappy bug. The other bug was with the race. This map does have a race, and we'll do that as well, hopefully. And it was buggy as hell, man. Usually races aren't a problem ever since Path of Fire, because it's pretty much on the landscape, pretty much without any like barriers or things blocking. But for the Jahai Bluffs map, okay, hold that thought. The Shatterer is coming out. You just saw that on the screen. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a playthrough of the Shatterer, the Death-branded Shatterer. We'll go have some fun with that. I've never missed one so far, and the mechanics are very similar to the original Shatterer. Ah, here we go. We got some people. So I'll explain the fight as we go along, but it's simple. It's really same thing with the Ascalon, not the Ascalon, sorry, the jeez, too many names. I'm having yeah, It is Ascalon, the Lowland Burns version.
How go the preparations?
The stages are DPS, break bar, and of course there's a healing phase, which instead of destroying crystals around the Shatterer, we have to go kill enemies. And each of these Rift Stalkers do have break bars as well, CC break bars.
And boring, but we're here to fix that, aren't we?
Corsairs.
Alright, so while Almora Soul Speaker goes over to fight there, let's see what we have. There's two pre-meta events that happens for the Shatterer, and for all of you wondering, the Shatterer is the meta. There isn't like a collective chain of events that leads to a big fortress takedown like we had in episode 3, Gandara. Well, yeah, technically Gandara, where, you know, we had to get we had to fuel the cannons or take back the cannons and then get the batteries to the cannons and then shoot on the fortress and then go in, have fun, raid the loot and stuff like that. Now, this map is all about getting rid of this Death Branded Shatterer, because this is the lieutenant of Kralkatorrik that we saw in chapter 1 of the story. So our job is to take him down. So there's two main events that lead up to this. One is these guys getting the worms to the fight. Once you do the pre-event chain for the worms, these guys will back us up, and they're gross looking and stuff, but who cares? So these guys join the fight. What they do is they kind of take care of the trash pretty much, and they just add some layer of protection, because there's a lot of ads that will spawn where the Shatterer is. The second chain event is usually the golems, where I just came from, which is over here, the Pact Vanguard. The story in this area is that the Pact managed to salvage some war golems from the Inquest from Rada Navas or something like that, and they are kind of repurposing it to our advantage. So there's a escort meta, pre-meta event to lead them up here, which is a very hard one to do. Okay, here we go. Shatterer's up. He just arrived, so the worms are already in action. Let's go have some fun with this. Stage 1, pretty simple. Just get up there and just start pew-pewing. And you'll notice as soon as the CC bar face comes alive. I'm not even sure if we have enough. Alright, CC, let's break bar. From all the Shadow runs I've done, we've never managed to get the CC out in time. Never, yeah. That's just one more. So at this stage, it's just pretty much checking out what the worm's doing. Like I said, they take care of a lot of the trash ads. So this is always a good pre-meta for the Shatterer to get done. The worms, that is. Okay, Shatterer's back down. Another good thing about this fight is that it's very new player friendly, in the sense that on the ground you'll notice a lot of these branded shards. What are they? What can I use them for? They actually help with CC too, but not a lot of people know that. So that's the message, that we have to go destroy the Rift Stalkers now. And I think my UI is blocking it, but you'll see a blue buff on the Shatterer. It's called Kralkatorrik's Intervention, and that simply means if we don't take down that Rift Stalker, the Shatterer is going to continue to heal. So let's go get him, and he's right over there. And this is the same Rift Stalker that you will see from the Rift events on the map, and in the story as well. In Chapter 3, Legacy, this guy shows up at that moment. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about the story tonight, just in case there are people watching this that haven't done it yet. Okay, break his CC. It just makes our life a little easier. So in the first heal phase, there's only going to be one Rift Stalker. And then in phase 2, there's going to be 2 Rift Stalkers. And then phase 3, 3. So that's pretty much it. There's going to be tornadoes around this fight as well, mini tornadoes. And players can use that later on, because the other Rift Stalkers in phase 3 will spawn on those ramps to the left and right of the fight. So we want to get up there as fast as possible. But looking at our numbers, yeah, we do have, I think we have enough players. I hope the volume's not too loud, you guys. So I didn't even think about that stuff. I just went live. Right, let's check it in chat meantime. We'll wait for the next phase. We got Derps in chat. It says, hi there. Hello, Derps. How you doing? Long time no see. I'm doing good. Hope you are too. Okay, check it in chat some more. We got Philippe. Hello, Philip. He says, are there any secret jumping puzzles like the old Lion's Arch? It seems like a perfect place for a couple of them in this cave. Not in Sun's Refuge, not that I know of. I mean, for those of you that haven't checked out Dolphy's full guide for the achievements and stuff, Dolphy's already got a guide up. Thank God for Dolphy. And I looked it through. There wasn't really a jumping puzzle of some sort. And, you know, some of the people were saying that this map was going to have a jumping puzzle on the map, not in Sun's Refuge. But it's not exactly a jumping puzzle. And we're talking about Vizier's Tower, of course. Alright, this is phase 2, so there's 2 Riftstalkers that spawn right now. I'm on the one side, and the other side in the far corner over there, there's going to be another one. So, lots of Branded Shards dropping, like I said. Very easy, just pick one up and throw them when you see the CC bar in action. Otherwise, bring your own CC. But for the Shatterer, like, really it doesn't matter because people generally come prepared. There's another event on this map, and it's the fake Palawa Joko. I'm not sure how many of you guys have seen that one. But the fake Palawa Joko is all about CC, man. And if people don't come with that, no one's going to get the achievement. And the achievement is to interrupt him every time he's getting a speech. Okay, so that is done. I'm kind of just stuck here right now, on the ground. There is another Riftstalker up there who's at half health. Damn it. Yeah, these trash ads, they're kind of annoying that way. They kind of slow you down. Which is why you were hoping for the worms to be of some help.
Go ahead. Hit.
Oh well, he's dead. As for people dying here, unfortunately, if you die in the Shatterer battle, it sucks because the nearest waypoint is actually Sun's Refuge. There is no easy way out of this. If you die here, full death, you either have to hope that someone's gonna pick you up, or you gotta come all the way back. Unlike the core game Shatterer, where
strong,
the waypoint was right at the camp where the cannons were. So if you died, pretty much just run back. This one, no. You have to, you know, hope that the community is nice enough. So don't die. That's the best advice. It's also a time fight, but usually we've got more than enough time to get this done.
Refreshing.
Okay, while we burn, let's check in chat some more. Eric says, it's been a while since they added a new jumping puzzle, to be honest. I missed them. Yeah, I hear you. And look, guys, I'm not the best person for jumping puzzles, but I know how popular they are. Because jumping puzzles in Guild Wars 2 is such an accomplishment when you get it done. Some of them are really well thought out. Some others are just really there to annoy the hell out of you, and you're gonna die maybe 15-20 times before you get it right. Some of them you go to and there's a awesome mesmer that just does the job for you, and you're so thankful that mesmers even exist. Alright, so I'm downed. And let's see if I get picked up or not.
Strong.
So far, tough luck. Except I've just rallied because something died, and I died in the air again, and I'm definitely gonna die now, yeah. So here's what's gonna happen. We're still at phase 3 of the fight, which simply means there's 3 Riftstalkers up, and it's gonna be a while before they take down those 3 Riftstalkers. So that's enough time for me to get on my beetle and jump all the way back in. Now here's the cool thing about coming back into the fight quick, on a beetle specifically. The new map mastery this time around is this little skill here, Bond of Vigor. When you hit that, your endurance bar for your mount just fills up so quick, and I can instantly go into my beetle overdrive. So that's the new mastery on this map and episode, which is super handy. Think of it as an extra few flaps on your griffin, which is really going to help matters. So here's one Riftstalker up in the ramparts here. I'm going to go and jump straight into the fight. And completely missed whatever I planned to do. Alright, CC up, let's break bar.
I'm neither here nor there.
Ay, ay, ay. There's a plank of wood there that prevented me from jumping above. That's annoying. Oh my goodness. Alright, good. He's dead. So there's one more Riftstalker, and that is... Where is that? Where's that Riftstalker? It's on the other rampart. So you do have these porting things as well. Ow. Shot out of the sky again. Nope, all dead. So the Shatterer end up healing up about 10% or 15% of health. So that's what happens if we leave those Riftstalkers up for too long. He does heal up pretty good. But at this stage, Phase 3 should give you more than enough time to burn Shatterer down. So let's just hope that we burn him. Come on. There's going to be one more CC phase for the Shatterer and then it's over. Why did I get out of Firebrand? I went back to my DH build for some soloing and I'm regretting that now. Ooh, get out of that. Okay, sweet. 29%, almost done. I have not seen a 4th phase, and it would suck if we go there now because there's only 5 minutes left. And there's an extra objective here, which is to protect the worms. If all 6 worms go, we're down to the last worm, I believe. Oh, come on, 70%. Let's burn him before he gets the worms. And this is my first shadow of the day, too. It's like my daily. Let's not let him run away. But he comes back in 2 hours, so take note of the time. It's 9:28 p.m. here for me. The meta usually starts at 9. So 2 hours. That's that CC bar. Oh my god, we're not gonna make it. This... Oh, we did. Never mind. Have some faith in the community. So that's the Shatterer fight here on the Jahai Bluffs map, which is actually rather interesting. The first few times I did it, you know, in comparison to the core game Shatterer, this one I feel, like I said, you know, it's in a more enclosed space. The mechanics are, or the formula is very similar. You've got multiple phases. He has a heal phase, which means kill all the Riftstalkers. And at the very beginning, a lot of players didn't know that the Riftstalkers had even spawned, because in amidst all that chaos, it's kind of hard to pick up on the announcement that Kralkatork has summoned some help in the form of those stalkers to heal him. So pay attention to that, and whenever you see the blue buff on the Shatterer, just go ahead and turn around or follow your commander and go kill him. As for the rewards, I can tell you what I got from that. And the most important thing that people are farming right now is this. Lumps of Mystonium. And I'll tell you why in a second, because it's all related to the brand new armor collection. You will need about 400 plus of these things if you want to unlock the collection the first time around. And then for all the other armor sets, like if you are heavy like I am and then you want to get the full skin collection for medium and light armor, you need about 1,000 of them. So that's a lot of Mystonium, man. And that's why I am taking all my 8 alts through the Jahai Bluffs, doing the tasks every day. I'm getting 100 a day. So event rewards, piece of unidentified gear, 2 pieces of rare unidentified gear. And I know it sounds like crappy stuff right now, but hold on to these stuff, especially if you're coming into this map new. Hold on to this stuff. These stuff are selling really well if you are farming Ishtan a lot, Palawadan specifically, so just hold on to that. Valuable. I'm kind of building up a stack right now. I just need a few more, and that's about, I'd say, 60 gold easy, 80 gold. Sweet, so we got the Shatterer out of the way. Now I can go back to another location and talk about the collection. So let's go here, because this is where the volatile magic... Did I just hear somebody die? Oh no, it's the Black Lion Merchant, right? Alright, let's go there. In the meantime, let me check in chat real quick. Where are we with chat? Yeah, Eric, about jumping puzzles. I agree with you. I think there should be more jumping puzzles in the game for people that love jumping puzzles. This map has a lot of potential for that. Like, I really... Like, there's some places, especially in the branded area, and even the part of Maguma in here, I think there's a lot of potential for jumping puzzles. I just don't know why they didn't think to include one, unless there's a real hidden one that we don't even know about. The only JP so far, and the game acknowledges that it is a JP. If you go under your dailies real quick for Jahai Bluffs, you'll see that today is the Displaced Tower Jumping Puzzle. Now this one, I believe it's just a Vizier Tower. I'm not too sure, but that isn't a traditional jumping puzzle. It's just get on your Springer and go all the way to the top to loot the chest. We'll go check it out real quick. Let me just see what's happening in Gil real quick. Alright, carrying on in chat. Philippe says, man, that was such a cool surprise in any zone most of the time. Made Guild Wars 2 even more unique and cool. We got Anonymous in chat says, hey, what's up, Anonymous? We got Surya Vamsi saying the new mastery makes Beetle pretty usable. I agree. Usually,
I hope that's enough.
Usually my default is the Griffin on the X. I mean, I still use my Griffin from time to time. That's my Shift C hotkey. But I put my Beetle on X right now because of that Bond of Vigor. And just to give you guys, for those that haven't seen it yet, an idea of what that can do. You know, sometimes... Damn it, these people talk too much in the background. So if you've been playing since Path of Fire, you know the capabilities and the limitations of your Griffin, right? So for example, I'm gonna jump over here and just try and miss the bridge, and then by having Bond of Vigor, you'll see what he can do. So, for example, if I know, I'm kind of not gonna make it, I'm too far down or whatever, like around here, let's go lower some more. So I'm gonna hit Bond of Vigor now, and it's gonna give me more flaps for about 10 seconds to do that. So if you know you're not gonna make it and you've already made that leap on your Griffin, you hit Bond of Vigor and you've got that extra boost. That's really handy for the new Griffin expert activity thing, which is over here. Right here. There's we can try that later too. I'm gonna suck at that because I'm terrible at it. But yeah, I really love the new mastery. Really, really handy. So right now we are in Yatendi village, and I'll talk about this when I'm taking my alt through and doing it with her. But it's kind of under attack by the Branded right now. I don't want to do that. Let's go do Displaced Towers. I want to show off that so-called jumping puzzle and get that daily done, because I'm kind of farming for those Mistonian. No, hang on, I'm jumping ahead. Let's talk about the collection for a sec. So the collection, this map, as we know, is the oh jeez, there we go. Wait, no, these are all the experiments which are kind of side. There we go. Convergence of Sorrow. So this is the one that you unlock after finishing the story, and then after getting the blacksmith Mira, or Amira I think her name is. She's gonna give you everything you need to get started on the better looking version, or the skins. So I picked heavy armor all out of this box, and that unlocked part 2, which is the, yeah, it just says part 2. So this one was really interesting, and I really like the kind of, what's the word I'm looking for here? It's not intricate, because some of it was a real pain in the butt, especially how step 12 for me just kind of bugged out. That was the gloves. But otherwise, it was just a run around Jahai maps, and I like how they integrated the events, so there's a bit of storytelling in there. For example, the first step was, getting the Djinn. You help the Djinn over in, there's a location south, and then by helping that Djinn with her storyline, you brought her back to Sun's Refuge with you. So when you went back to Sun's Refuge, you talked to her, and it's like, oh yeah, by the way, I had a cool story, and there's some cool, hidden, unique, magical mist stuff armor in the sand, so go retrieve it, and we'll go from there. So from the Djinn, that led to the event at the tree, and at the tree simply I'll just give you a visual tour. So Djinn event starts here, you go up here, you help her, kind of kill her friend, which is sad, but it all starts there, and then you come back to Sun's Refuge, you talk to the blacksmith, hey, I found this mist-touched armor or whatever, what can you do with it? And she was like, we gotta learn more. So the collection just goes on and on, unlocking more side story. Like, it's not meaty enough as a narrative, but it's just enough to make you go, yeah, it makes sense, I could go with that. Otherwise, expect to do lots of running around, expect to do lots of waiting and everything. And I have unlocked the full armor, and this is what it looks like. Oh, not that. This, no, not that either. I'm not wearing any of it. Oh gosh, here, let me just put on my set real quick. So this is the full armor, the LG2 armor for heavy, and it's obviously going to be different for light and medium. But what's cool about this new armor collection, especially for the skin, is that, yeah, you do have all these glowy stuff, and you can dye them, which is, I think, the real attractive factor. Let me just go dyes real quick. I gotta turn that off first. So I've gone with white for all that, but if you want to turn it hot pink, you can. So You can individually dye all the smoky, glowy orbs to hot pink. So that's why this armor set is pretty sought after and coveted. And it's going to take you some work to get there, but if you start it early, then it's not going to be a problem. So there you go. You can go like full glorious shiny armor with some hot pink glow. Look at that. That actually looks pretty decent. That actually looks pretty good on my guy. Although I'm not a big fan of the helmet because it completely gets rid of any of my facial hair that I had previously. But it still looks decent. I don't know. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm not going to use that armor a lot because I'm more of an outfit guy rather than an armor skin guy. As for the others, once you've unlocked the entire collection sequence for the armor of your chosen weight, then you can start buying the rest. So from this volatile magic vendor person, you will see all the other weights here. These are for medium, and then you got light as well. Let's go ahead and check out the medium armor. The reason I picked heavy is simply because most of my main alts and tunes are heavy, like the Revenant, the Guardian, and my Warrior as well. And those that are, I probably play a lot more. But I have to say, medium doesn't look... I don't know, it just looks kind of... Once you've seen the heavy armor version of that skin, which is what the entire episode 4 is all about, the main collection, the whole skin thing, you definitely feel like... At least I feel like heavy armor is the best bang for your buck if you wanted a cool looking skin. Let's check out light now. We just saw medium there. So this is the light armor variant. Kind of looks like somebody out of Power Rangers. I don't know about you guys, but it reminds me of like Power Rangers. It doesn't really scream out at all. So yeah, I'm pretty happy about heavy armor, but I still want to unlock them anyway because there is an achievement for that. But just to give you guys a hint, right? Like I said, lumps of Mystonium is the main currency in this map. Look at how much total you will need for the entire collection. That is about 1,000 there. In addition to globs of ectoplasm, which is easy to get these days. So I have a lot of grindy work to do, and it's all for cosmetics. it's not for like ascended stuff, and I am, you know, kind of farming ascended stuff and legendary stuff at the moment. But what people are just crazy about right now is let's get the new armor skins. That's more important. So that is this map's thing. Last episode, of course, was the backpack, which is the ascended level backpack. And I do believe I have it on. It is this one, the Dauntless Commander. So last episode, it was all of the same thing, really. You're going around, you're farming the map currency every day, and then going around doing all those achievements around Tyria. So that was fun in a way because you got to visit old places like Ore and the Straits of Devastation, doing all the temple, you know, Melandru, and all those fun stuff that people did years ago. So to go back and do that was pretty fun. This map, unfortunately, not so much. Your only option is really just to grind up lumps of Mystonium the hard way. Okay, so that's that. Let me check out the chat before I move on real quick. Where are we in chat? Philip says, I like that they made this boss at least challenging. Makes killing it impactful and rewarding. Oh, hell yeah, I totally agree. The first time I did the Death Branded Shatterer, which was the night or the morning after I did the story stream, it was a fail. It was fail, man. It was totally fail because nobody knew the mechanics, and once everybody figured out that we had to kill the Riftstalkers, it obviously got pretty easy from then. But there was a definite learning curve of like 6 hours before I think majority of the player base kind of got it, and then it became easier for there. But this one kind of does. I think it's the same as the old Shatterer.
Form up and prepare for battle.
The only difference is that old Shatterer is part of a daily. That's it. So people could go back there and do that Shatterer for the daily, whereas in Jahai Bluffs, it doesn't count as a daily or whatever, which is kind of sad because I'd like for people to come here and do it. The only issue with that is, and I've seen this feedback and complain a lot, is that core players that don't have the Path of Fire expansion, that don't have the Living World seasons, they cannot come to this map to experience this. I think there are a few workarounds, like using the teleport to a friend thing, where you can teleport to your friend in your party or whatever to get to wherever they are. I'm not sure if it worked with somebody who doesn't have what was that? Elizabeth has just subscribed to the channel. Thank you, Elizabeth. Welcome to the stream, if you are watching the stream, or if it was from one of my other videos, but I appreciate your support whenever you watch this. So yeah, I think that's unfortunate that players that don't have access to it couldn't come and see it on the map itself. So I hope Guild Wars 2 in a way are kind of working on a catch-up mechanic to try and integrate new players into their current endgame areas faster, so more people will have access to this. And there shouldn't really be an argument of, oh, then it'll just make it free and irrelevant. We are already getting the Living World episodes for free if we log in during that period anyway, so I don't see a problem of making the previous Living World episodes free. Why not? That's just a thought. I know Guild Wars 2 is a business, and I love Guild Wars 2. I really like ArenaNet's style of things, but maybe it's time to make the past Living World seasons free for players. That's just where I'm at with that. I don't know. What do you guys think? Next up, I'm going to go and do heart tasks on my alts and try and hit map completion, and then we can knock out some events too while we're doing that. So before I do that, I'm going to be checking in on chat real quick. Eric says, poor BL merchant, they should try to unionize. I would kill for getting the unlimited black line thingy where I could just summon people all over without having to port back. I would love for one of those. Eric says, well, I'm just longing for a traditional JP. The only mounts JP I like is at the Crystal Oasis where you need the Jackal. I think I remember that in my Path of Fire playthrough. And I know which one you're talking about. Rudy, we got Rudy in chat. Hello, Rudy. He says, how do you get that Guild Wars 2 t-shirt? Oh, yes, I forgot about this. Well, let me spend a couple of minutes talking about this thing real quick. So, Guild Wars 2 recently had a promotion with this bubble tea. Over here in Asia, this is a big thing, bubble tea, where it's milk and sugared water and some flavors, and then they put these pearls there made out of God knows what it's made out of, but it's been a thing in here, this at least in my country, for about 20 years, and it's gotten so popular and it's been globalized now. Bubble tea, I don't know what you folks in the West call it, but over here it's bubble tea. So there's a bubble tea chain in New York called Kung Fu Tea. And for whatever reason, ArenaNet and Guild Wars 2 decided to partner with them for a promotional giveaway where if you downloaded Kung Fu Tea's mobile app and you link a social media profile, you can claim some rewards on the Kung Fu Tea app, like this outfit here, which is a Guild Wars 2 t-shirt, and I think a heroic edition of the game. And the heroic edition gives you a set of armor, like classic armor skin. I think it's the primeval armor, the Crichton armor, and I can't remember what the light armor one was. You also got a bunch of heroic boosters, and one more thing. And for new players that are playing on a free-to-play account, if you got that heroic edition code, that immediately upgrades your version to no longer free-to-play. So that means all the restrictions removed. You still will have, or you still won't have access to Heart of Thorns, the expansion, and Path of Fire, but you've got the restrictions removed. So here's the thing, that promo was only available to residents of the United States of America. So people in Canada and people in Asia, people in Europe, and Europe is a big area for Guild Wars 2, especially Guild Wars 2. And a lot of people felt really shafted by this because this outfit was hard to get. So I'm gonna tell you guys on stream, I am in Malaysia and I managed to get this outfit with a workaround, which is just using blue stacks. And yeah, there's a workaround, and if you go browse the Reddit, you will see it there. But trust me, if you're living outside the United States, use that workaround. Don't link your real social media profile for this campaign. I promise you, you will regret it. Make up a fake one, make a fake Facebook page or whatever, and use that instead. Don't use your real one, alright? But because of the way this promo was handled, I wasn't very happy with it, and I put my foot down and say, screw it. I'm going to do whatever I can to get this thing. I don't even care if it's against the rules or whatever. I'm like, screw that. I want that shirt. So for ArenaNet and Guild Wars 2, hey, do better with your promotions. If it's like a physical giveaway, I totally understand if you can't do it outside the United States because it's GDPR and taxes and all that stuff. But for digital giveaways, come on, digital, man. Well, yeah, that's a little rant. I wasn't happy with this promo. When I first saw it, I'm like, that's so cool. I would totally wear that shirt which I am actually. And there's a workaround, guys. Use BlueStacks. Make a fake Facebook. Change your location. If you guys are not outside the States, change your location to somewhere in the States, and then go claim those codes. I think the promotion ends end of the month. Alright, check it in chat real quick. By the way, I said I was going to go do my alt... Yeah, not yet. For Eric's sake, I'm going to go check out this daily jumping puzzle here, which is this tower. This is where the invasion of Ord thing is happening right down there, but we have to get right to the top because there was a chest there and an achievement too, I believe. So I can't remember how I did it the first time, but I believe you can climb out one of these mini towers at the site and then just raptor across to the middle. So let's see what I can do here. Okay, so that's the first step, and then you want to raptor across there and then make your way up top. So let's just see if I remember how to do this. It's been about 4 days now. So now you'll notice all these gaps in the middle of these columns, right? I don't think it works this way, or it does, never mind. And then from here, you gotta find a way up. I believe we have to go outside now. So I'm terrible at jumping puzzles, right? So I'm just doing what the most logical solution I can find, which is usually a bad idea. So yeah, definitely not here. The other thing I can do is make my way to where the vista is and then fly across. So let's do that instead. Let's see. Let's put the new mastery to work, right? I'm gonna use the new mastery to get up to that platform right there. Let me just try and get up this platform here. This is the edge over there, just to see if I can land, because that's gonna give me a great boost. Yeah, that works actually. Griffin, Griffin, Griffin! There we go. Sweet. Alright, so no mastery needed there. But I definitely will for making that jump across. So let's get on top of this one. Get on my Griffin, and I'm going to use my mastery to get across. So here we go. Well, actually, you don't even need the mastery, but... Ta-da! That is your jumping puzzle daily. So yeah, this is the jumping puzzle, and I don't know why they call it a jumping puzzle, because it's not, like I said, it's not traditional in any way, but it's a jumping puzzle, which can be solved so easy with mouse and if you have the Griffin and the Springer. So a reward for that is a Mystonium, 25 volatile magic, and a scrap of desert mastery. Sweet. Alright, Eric, there you go. That's your jumping puzzle, brother. Let's now log out and go to an alt. Check it in chat in the meantime. Anonymous says, wow, I'm definitely getting that armor. Yeah, go for it. I mean, if your main is a light or whatever, it's going to take obviously a long time. But it's definitely one of the coolest ones because of that smoky effect. And thank you for reminding me about armor, because I just went to my full Condi armor and I need to change back my armor before I forget. And I don't want to die, or I don't want to transmog my Berserker set into that new armor, because the tooltips will kind of like change. So I don't want that to happen. So let me just make sure I'm wearing all the right stuff. I am. Alright. Continue and chat some more. Eric says, that will go well with a love-struck weapon. I actually have a love-struck weapon, I think. It's my mace. Do I have it here? No, it's my scepter. Well, no, it's not a love-struck weapon, but dyeing it hot pink, and I picked this up on the auction house. It's like a little Twinkie star, kind of like a princess scepter, which I find really funny. So I've been using that for PvP. You know, it just makes it funny to kill people with that. Checking in chat some more. Rudy says, holy kung fu. Yeah, but yeah, go check it out. Those of you not in the United States and you do want the dragon outfit, I believe it's what it's called, definitely go ahead and bypass that nonsense and get it anyway. Elizabeth says, bubble tea is huge where I live. I live for the mango and taro pearl flavor. Nice. I like taro. Taro is awesome. Taro, what is taro? Yam, right? That's yam balls. I love it. I personally just like just a normal tea flavor. Just tea and milk, and then with all those bubbles in there. Way back in high school, we had green apple flavored, you know, bubble tea, and that used to be my favorite. But yeah, now you're making me crave for bubble tea. I haven't had them in a while. Eric says, but no chest. What heresy is this? Oh, there's definitely a chest. It's right here. But you had to interact with the chest the first time for the achievement, which I already did in the past. So once you've got that done, then you do not have to do it again. So just getting to the top of the tower was all you really needed. I believe it is called... Oh boy. I'm just checking just to make sure. Historical accuracy, let's just call it that. No. Sorry, guys. It's definitely one of these. The achievement was to get to the top of the tower and loot from the Orion chest. And this is the chest. And that's a book for one of the collections too, I believe. I could be wrong. But yeah. I know there's an interact button here. I'm not sure what this does. Could be the chest. Or I'm just kneeling down.
Nice gear.
No, sorry, that's the chest. That's the daily jumping puzzle chest. That one in the back there, that's for the achievement, I think. I could be wrong. I don't know. It's been 4 days since I first did this, and I haven't been back here since. Because jumping puzzles. I usually stay away from jumping puzzles. Alright, let's go to a safe spot. Oh, I saw a lump of Mystonium note down here. Oh no! Well, great. Damn it. But yeah, pro tip, if you see a lump of Mystonium node on the landscape, unlike episode 3 where I forgot what the episode 3 currency was, but you usually see it just out on the landscape and you can just go easily pick them up, and you usually pick up one. This one, you do get a bunch of other stuff with it too. I think there is volatile magic and a bunch of other stuff. Let's just check it out here. So that's what it looks like.
Time to break some stones. You can never have too much treasure.
Yeah, so you get a bunch of stuff. But the sucky part, the worst part is I did not get even one Mystonium with that. So that's why, for me, the fastest way to farm Mystonium is actually to do the heart tasks, because that is rubbish. How can you call it a lump of Mystonium node and not drop a single Mystonium from it? Come on. Kind of a waste, isn't it? Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Like I said, I'm gonna get on an alt and we'll go complete some heart tasks, see what it's all about. And the cool thing about these heart tasks is that, I'm not sure if you guys noticed, but whenever you're out there doing the objectives for the heart tasks, there's usually an event that kind of spawns in the same area. That could either be a hindrance if you've already done the event multiple times and you just want to get access to the vendor. And let's hope some of those spawn. Now, I have to think about which tune do I want to do next, because I usually do all of them. I do have a new 36 Ranger though, so I think next up I will do... Oh boy. Let's do my Revenant. I've been having some fun with her. And this Revenant, by the way, for those of you that have been with my channels for a long time, this was the same Revenant that I used for the Guild Wars 2 review on my channel, 10 Reasons to Play Guild Wars 2. That's the same one. The only difference is, I went from... I changed gender, and I changed pretty much everything that I was doing. I think I was in a really crappy newbie beginner's build, and I never touched a Revenant for like 9 or 10 months, and then I was like, I'm getting the itch to try a different class.
Out of the shadows. It has to be this one.
And so far so good. I'm liking it a lot.
Punish for competence.
Okay, so I parked my Revenant right here at the Reclaimed Chantry, and this is the first heart task that we're going to do. And I'll explain some of the objectives, and we'll talk about some of the story here as well. What's this on the map? That is Mystonium above me, and we already saw that in terms of what it drops. Let me check it in chat before I move on real quick. Eric with the smiley face. Elizabeth says, haha, I live in the UK and there's like one bubble tea cafe where I live. Oh, that's so awesome. The closest one for me is usually in some of the malls and stuff, but there's a lot of them out there. if you ever come down here, Southeast Asia, you may have heard of stuff like Cha Time and Gong Cha and a bunch of other, Taiwanese, Hong Kong-based bubble tea stuff. Really popular. Okay, let's go down some more. Eric says, never realized that chess is interactable. Yeah, I thought it was like something, like just a normal piece of thing that you can interact and read something off. I didn't actually think that was the jumping puzzle chest. But yeah, good spot, man. Elizabeth says, also, I'm watching this because my PC's dead. I held a funeral for it yesterday. Oh no! Rest in peace, your computer. So now I only have an Xbox and PS. There's no great MMOs on them, no. Well, if I may, well, I'm not sure if you tried ESO, but ESO is on the console, but it's not for everybody, definitely. It's not... A lot of people that I know that play Guild Wars with me don't really like ESO, and vice versa. Those that I know that play ESO with me don't really like Guild Wars 2. It's like, people can get along, and this is not against anybody that's watching. I'm just saying as a general observation, because I play almost every MMORPG out that I can get my hands on, and I like them all, especially the ones that I play personally. I like them all equally. It's like... I like ESO, I like Guild Wars 2, hell, I like World of Warcraft, I like Lotro, I like everything that I've jumped into that I've had a positive reaction to, I like them all. But I've definitely noticed, like, people just can't do one or the other, it's like, yeah, people do one or the other. They're like, if I like this, I can't like that. So that's something new for me. Just real quick, we have an event here, and this one is prepare the chantry for a branded attack. So this event spawns a lot in this heart task right up here. And there's 3 entrances into the chantry. That's the cave, this is the statue of Cormyr, and then this is the archway. So what really needs to happen is, the story here is that we've got all the delegations, or all the different factions that are now coming together post Palau Joko, are all trying to be in the same side, trying to fit in and integrate. So you've got clusters of, Sun Spears over here, the Order of Shadows over here, the Awakened over there, and then you got the Morden Crescent over here. So the heart task was to try and get them to talk to each other based on their interests. So if one of them says, hey, I like bubble tea, then you need to go and find somebody else with the same dialogue that says, I like bubble tea too. That's how this task works. But in between that, like every 10-15 minutes, the 3 entrances into the chantry will come under attack. So you had to click on 3 different people and bring them to here to start defending. So killing branded that comes during this event will also progress the heart task, so just keep your eye on the taskbar on the right and you will see that progress the more we kill here.
Last now will feast on their anguish.
There's also going to be turrets around that will, like that one over there, broken turret. All you got to do is click on it and you'll repair that turret, and the turret actually shoots during this event. As you can see, it's doing right there. So that's actually a good thing. If you come here and you realize that there's lots of broken turrets around, yeah, definitely go fix them up, because they do help in this event. This is my least favorite event on Jahai Bluffs map so far, and I'll share my reasons why real quick. Oh, someone's down. Let's pick him up. Alright, we're weakening near the statue. Arch is almost gone. Arch is gone. So the event has failed. But why people still do it is because killing moves the progress bar pretty much. So that's why you'll see people always here just taking part in the event whenever it comes live. And that's it. This is one of the hardest events to do if you're a solo player and if there's not a lot of people there, because you definitely need a lot of people in each of the entrances, in addition to having all these turrets repaired and having enough NPCs that come with you. Now the problem is, this event happens so frequently, like every 15 minutes is a guaranteed event. And then the scaling for this event is horrible. So as more people start to show up, you'll get just so flustered and overcome with enemies that's impossible to do. So I've never seen this event succeed more than one time, and the one time that it did, we actually had 3 commanders on this area for the 3 different entrances. Otherwise there's just no chance of doing it. Okay, oh look, a mistouched cash down there. Let's go ahead and grab that. Also get to check it in chat. Baradhor says, now that is a lump of mistonium. You're right. I think the most efficient way for farming it is definitely through doing the hard tasks. So here's an example of what we gotta do. Oh, this one wants to fight, yeah. Sometimes they get rowdy and they want to fight, and you can just knock them out, knock some sense into them, and it'll progress. So here, Sun Spears will never understand what it means to learn, train, and grow beneath a higher power. So my response as the commander is, interesting. Why don't we check if that's true? So they don't know what it means to be disciplined under a good leader. It's the gist of that. So let's go to the Sun Spears. And now, oop, broken turret. Never miss an opportunity to fix one of those. I like those. Now we gotta look for a Sun Spear who's disciplined enough. Every day's training or fighting. I want to sit back, relax, and read a good scroll. So obviously, that's not a match. I risk everything to save Ilona. Nope, this one's definitely not it. Next.
May Balthazar strengthen you.
Nope, this is about family. Must be this guy. There you go. The Sun Spears taught me everything I need to know. You can't find that kind of knowledge everywhere. So once you hit the right one, you'll see them have an interaction, which is actually pretty funny, and it's really nice to listen to.
It's hard to know what to believe anymore.
Yeah, feels like the whole world's been flipped on its head.
So that's how this objective works. There is a achievement for this, and it's called Matchmaker. I just got it done yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just take a look. There we go. Matchmaker, matchmaker. You have to start 15 successful conversations in a row. And it's easy to get one of them wrong sometimes because the way some of these people say things, it's not usually how people talk. So let's see, one more. Know what you'll lose with your will when you're with Awakened. Knowing how to live well. Watch them. They're no fun. So let's go ask them if they know how to have fun. Alright, let's see. Marching, drilling, defending, fighting. None of this is living well. Give me a sunny vineyard and some great grandchildren. So, that's your guy.
Our notes never prepared us to actually meet you. Shake an awakened hand and all that.
Sounds like we should update those notes.
That's the fun part. That's the real fun part, is seeing all these different people from the story try and get used to each other, because previously, Path of Fire, we were all fighting each other. We were fighting the Awakened, we were fighting the Morn Crescent, and now, Season 4 is like, yeah, we had history, and now let's try and, fix that. Let's get together and learn a little bit about each other. And so in the future episodes, I can see an all-out war coming, where we have to take down Kralkatorrik with the combined power of the United... This is not an official name or anything, but a united Ilona. And then the core Tyria forces, the Pact and stuff like that. And my hope is to see Destiny's Edge kind of reunite for one last hurrah. I'm not sure if ArenaNet's going to make that happen. Because Zoja, she's still around, I think. We just don't know what's going on with her.
Time to go.
Okay, one last one before this event spawns again. Know what hundreds of years of tradition gives you? Stodginess. Sun Spears don't know how to learn and grow. So let's go see what the Sun Spears have to say about that. Stodginess. That's a word I have never used in my daily life. Every day is trading or fighting. No, she's complaining here. I risk everything. No, I think we already did that. My parents said no. Probably this one. Same thing.
Heard you're someone who knows what's going on.
Only a little, but I can tell you what I got.
Some must fight, so that all may be free.
That's cool. I mean, if there's lots of people, like this player chose to fight one of the rogue ones, and you can choose to help out, and if you do enough damage, or if you can contribute enough, then you can get credit as well. So I'm guessing once I help this person out, I should be done with my heart task.
Alright, boss.
There we go.
I'll behave myself.
So that's what this entire chantry is about. This is a safe haven for people, and in addition to a staging ground for all the 4 different quadrants of our Ilonian makeshift army, if you will. And Agent Keto over here is in charge of making it happen, making them work together. So once you've completed the heart task, you click on him, and this is where you come to get all your missed touched items for your armor completion. You won't see that here because I've already done that. Otherwise, he also sells a mini branded rift crawler, which is interesting. Let's see if we can preview that. Okay, that's like a Starship Trooper bug. I have no interest in using one of those. A slightly smelly slab of steak. I have no idea what that is. I'm not gonna waste a mystonium on that. This is what I'm really here for. You can buy 5 lumps of mystonium every day after reset for about 2,000 karma. And I have 8 alts, so if I run all of them, all of the 8 alts through the 3 heart tasks, that's about 105 lumps of mystonium I can farm every day. So that's currently my plan. And I know it's crazy, but I don't have a choice. As for the karma, 2k karma's not bad. I'm sitting about 1.3 million myself. One of my friends is sitting at 4 million karma. So this is a karma sink that I don't mind spending. And once it's in your inventory, of course it's account shared now because it's all account bound. So just go ahead and deposit that and my main character will be able to pick it out and use it. So that's my plan of farming. Now let's move on down to the next heart and let's go discover some of all these stuff while we're at it. So maybe I can even get map completion on stream. That'll be fun. Okay, back to the chat in the meantime. Where are we? Rudy says, in terms of gameplay, which do you like better? BFA, as in Battle for Azeroth, or Guild Wars 2? Well, World of Warcraft or Guild Wars 2, which do I like better? It's a hard one to compare, and I don't really like doing like direct comparisons like that. World of Warcraft does things that I like, Guild Wars 2 does things that I like. It's just hard to say which is better, because that's such a... I think I've said this many times, it's such a subjective thing. I can tell you what I don't like about both games, but that's gonna be like another hour of stream wasted, just me ranting about stuff. Alright. Let's go to the Fortress of Jahai. Let's unlock that waypoint and see if the race is up, and then maybe we could do a quick race too. And I'm kind of pissed off about the race. I really was, because it was bugged for so long. So this you will remember from chapter 1 of the story. It is now full of branded awakened soldiers, which is unfortunate. So that means you can no longer take a stroll around without getting attacked, pretty much. There's a mistouched cache in there alongside a chest, but you'll have to make your way through an elite branded soldier in order to get that. Otherwise, going into the keep here, this is where... Oh, the race is on! The race is on! Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go! The race is on! Come on! I don't know for how long though. No! The inner keep will seal in 36 seconds! I'm not gonna make it. I can certainly try. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I still want to try. Come on. Alright, so it's no longer bugged. So in this one, remember in the first chapter where you saw me make my way saving all the people from the dragon and everything? Yeah, we are back in here, but the race course changes every time, so you're not going to be taking the same path. Oh my god, I got 6 seconds. I'm definitely not going to make it. Oh, I'm so close. Come on, let me out. Let me out. Oh,
Scrolls, glorious archives, and
I was so close. I was so close to the end. But I still got the event rewards though, so.
We'll see what intel they can extract from this.
Let's get that. Oh, Gorilla Arc. I got a what? I got a specialization collection unlocked for that, and that is for the Gorilla Arc short bow. Which class is that? A warrior? I don't know. Renegade. No, Renegade is a different class. Definitely a warrior. Revenant, that's what it is. Okay, so that's cool. But I was just inches away from getting out there. And the reason why I wanted to get out there is because that's a POI. So, for those that have already run through the story the first time on the remains, they would have come here. This is where you see the Shatterer fly through the rift and everything. But that's where you unlock the first POI on your main character. But for your alts, if you don't want to play through the story, the only way to unlock this POI is to do it through the race. Now, the first 3-4 days of release, the race was bugged. So nobody pretty much could get in here and get that POI, which is a real pain in the butt. But it's good to see that they've now fixed that, so while we're here, let's go ahead and grab the Vista. There's a Vista up there. And I know there's an easy way to get up there. There's also a champion mob, some sort of a judge that kind of spawns above me in this little balcony I'll show you guys real quick. But this is the... There it is. That's the vista up there. Just bring her real quick. Yeah, I can make that. Ah, no! I wasn't anticipating that to hit me. There we go. Yay! The vistas this episode definitely better than the vistas episode 3. Episode 3 I noticed a lot of pop-ins and just really bad optimization when it looks around the open landscape. But in episode 4, all the vistas so far has been pretty excellent. Like no issues with the landscape and terrain popping in on all that nasty stuff that you don't want to see. So this is where a champion boss usually spawns for a different achievement as well, but it's not here right now. There's an adventure there, Griffin Master, right up there somewhere. I just noticed that because the one that I usually go to is at the Djinn area. But there's one up there, so let's see if we can do that. Let's just see if we can do that. Why not? Since we're here. Just trying to figure out if there is a better path up there for me. In fact, I think I should have used the Vista area. Oh no. Let's try that again. Oh, actually, this is closer. Let's do this. So much planning involved when you're trying to scale buildings. There we go. Right, let's check out a Jahai Bluffs Griffin Master course. I've not done this one, so I don't know what path this is going to take. And after giving this a shot, I'll check it in chat, right? So here we go. Oh, I'm really bad at this. You guys are gonna watch me suck. Let's do this. Hey, except I can't. Why can't I? There we go. Oh. Disappeared again. What's going on? Okay, let's see. Lifetime, we have rank 14 player Affixel, Tao Hong, Shim Green, Saint Vertigo, Kaga Wolf. Congratulations. You guys are pretty good at this. My turn. What? Oh, okay, we're going down. We have to fly through the bubbles. This is essentially what this game is all about. With preferably high speed. No, don't land, don't land! Oh. Really? Okay, that's challenging. Let's do that again. Dive bomb and pull up. Dive bomb and pull up. I went straight to the bridge. Oh, what do we got? We got Jose Lucio subscribing to the YouTube channel. Thank you, Jose. I'm going to use my mastery here just to get that extra boost. Dive bomb and pull up. No. This is hard. I use my Griffin on a daily basis, but I don't do flashy dive bomb fighter pilot jet tricks with it. So my knowledge and depth of how to control my Griffin is nowhere as good as any, like, for stuff. The thing is, you can slow down like what I'm doing here, but you lose so much speed and velocity that it just becomes pointless. Damn it. Alright, I'm going to give it one more shot and then I'm just going to move on. I'm clearly not cut out for being a Griffin pilot here. Let's go. Pull up, pull up. Dive bomb some more. Pull up, dive bomb, pull up. I don't even know if that... Oh, here's what I can do. I can actually use height to my advantage here to get the speed buff. And go up a little bit. Not sure if that helps, but... No, I'm not gonna make it. I'm not going to make it unless I cheat. No, that's definitely not the tactic, because as soon as you die, you gain speed when you dive, but whenever you use the S button, and at least my button S is to bring it back up, you lose any sort of speed that you had. So yeah, I'm definitely not gonna get that done anytime soon. So did I complete the keep? I did not. There's one more POI that I needed to do. So let me just go back there real quick. Okay, checking in on chat. Sorry guys, I've been engrossed in that. Where are we? Anonymous says MMORPGs have their own factions. Yes, they do. And it's always going to be a thing, you know, like, I swear to God, there's always people commenting or sending me private messages. Which one do you like better? What would you what would you recommend is fine, because I get to actually, you know, recommend something based on pros and cons, and you guys take that and, you know, make informed decisions about it. But directly pitting two games against each other for the sake of confirming someone's bias is something that I dislike doing at all. Because I believe that every game out there, regardless of whether or not I cover it on my channel, or I say it sucked on my channel, that's just my opinion. Every game was created to offer fun to somebody out there in the world, and if it doesn't, it doesn't, you know. But I don't see the need for gaming communities belonging to each of these MMOs coming out and trying to, you know, be keyboard warriors about it. But it's always going to happen. That will never change about gaming, and it'll never change about MMOs. And I've come to accept that, really. So on some, like, my video comments, when you see stuff like that, there's a couple of people that I know that I don't reply to, because I know all they're trying to do is just instigate some shit with, you know, trying to start up some controversy or whatever by having people say that this game's better than that or whatever. I don't do that kind of stuff. I'm heading for the vista right at the top. And then we'll talk about this area, the Attendee village, and how we can help the villagers eat better, I suppose. You'll also notice a lot of these branded crystals on the walls. Those are part of the story for the zone in this area too. I mean, we already know that Kralkatorrik and the branded Pre-shatterer and all that stuff. So here's another gorgeous looking vista. This one's my favorite actually, because it actually highlights the entire town and village that's kind of built into the side of this rock formation here, which is great. One of my favorite designs for sure. If I had a chance to live in a hotel kind of like this, where it's like built into the rock and you're just facing down into the ocean or whatever from high up place, that's like one of my dream like resorts. I love to take a peek out the window and it's like, oh yeah, that's great. All right, so let's go ahead and check down some more. Rugador says, I got a cool mount in WoW just for purchasing more game time. It's my favorite mount now. Yeah, I saw that. It was the kind of like a flying ship, right? A flying ship, very island expedition kind of theme. Or very piratey theme, I should say. I saw that. And it was for the 6-month sub. So that's interesting and pretty cool, I suppose. Alright, so what's happening here? Help the people of Attendee village. Help gather, grill, and distribute food. Make the town safer from drakes. Destroy the branded and clear brand accumulation. Jahai Bluffs, you already have Elonian people living here. Some of them, as we saw in the story. Like in the village up here. Crescent's Prosperity. This one got totally annihilated by the Shatterer and Kralkatorrik, essentially. He branded the entire area. So that's gone. But you'll also see a bunch of other people elsewhere. Like, I believe in some of these places you do see like little towns and stuff that you'll eventually visit when you go do your collections for the armor or for the memorabilia collection. You definitely see stuff like that. But other than that, this is the only biggest like inhabitable village that you see where Elonians are actually still here and still surviving. Other than our own Sun's Refuge, of course. So these guys are struggling with food. So you'll see farming supplies all over the village, and when you pick that up, you get seeds. And with those seeds, we're going to help plant some crops. And you can also destroy crystals like the one I just did to help move that taskbar ahead. And this is me picking up seeds. Alright, let's go look for a farming plot. What I usually do is I pick up seeds in advance. Like, I'll have like a stack of 50 or whatever, and then I'll go and plant stuff. That is what the soil kind of looks like. As soon as you start planting, you'll see the taskbar progress a lot higher or faster. Like that. So this one is a more kind of relaxed daily task. It does get repetitive really fast, which is why I suggest picking up a lot of seeds in advance. And because I do this on 7 other alts, it gets really tiring fast. But luckily there is another event that happens when, you know, players start congregating in this town. The branded will come and attack in a bunch of different locations on the cliff, and this is just a cliffside area. You'll see that there's the bridge going across, and there's still more like houses and stuff over there, so it's kind of connected. So the branded will attack from 2 locations, one at the bottom, one on top, and up there as well. So if you're struggling with this and you really don't want to, you know, do the farming, you can wait for the event and kill the branded that arrives, or you can deliver food as well, because like I said, one of the subplots happening here is that these people are torn right now with Kralkatoric, you know, harassing the area, the branded kind of destroying their crops up there on the hill, so they don't really have access to food. So I believe the Sun Spears are providing aid. Let me just go up and see if I can find one of those food sacks, just to give you guys an idea. So that's me halfway done. Let's go get one of those food stuff. Now, if you're for some collections, I know there's like a bunch of ancient Jahai coins here, which are part of the sense. Gosh, there's so many collections and achievements that sometimes you just can't remember what the hell they're called. Making sense of Jahai, there you go. So you got all these Jahai coin collections. There's a bunch of them in this village that I've already picked up in my first playthrough. So definitely check nooks and crannies. And the thing is, with a village design like this, where there's just so many little, you know, huts and buildings and doorways and stuff, if I was a dev, I would be rubbing my hands in glee just thinking of how much I can hide for players to do a scavenger hunt for. Kill branded, destroy crystals, pick up farming tools, plant the seeds, and the last variation of objective is to pick up food and deliver it to some hungry folks. Let's just see if the food is here. There we go. The attendee food stores, that is there, nicely packed in a really silky bundle. That's kind of cool. It's so big that I can't, it's like blocking my character's face, so she can't even see where she's going. Now the tricky thing is to look for people with an apple sign over their head, and you may recognize that symbol in Guild Wars 2. You'll see a lot for people that requires food or is hungry, and they usually spawn at the bottom here. Unless somebody has already fed them, then you will not see them. Usually this person over here, Hatima, there we go, there's one villager with the apple sign. This person's hungry, so let's give them some food.
Thank you.
You are most welcome. So this one has a wider range of objectives for you to complete, unlike in the Chantry, where your only, you know, option is to start conversations between the 4 quadrants of your army and fix broken turrets and just do that fail event over and over. So Yatendi Village is definitely, I would say this is the best task out of all the 3 in this map. We'll go do the last one after this as well, and I'll show you guys the Pact camp. I'm surprised the event didn't hit. Usually, every time I'm here, Guild Wars 2 just turns on that event. Like, ah, okay. I have a chance to kill some branded. So that is now done. I will go see Azri, village head Azri, I believe is her name. And I am not a fan of this person, Azzy, because she bugged out for my heavy armor, so I'm not happy about that. But she's back now. I managed to get it done. So same thing here, 5 lumps of Mistonium. Thank you very much, and you can only buy that once a day on a character, right? So any other stuff that I missed? There's a POI up here, and I do see a mentor tag up there because there's a Djinn event up there. And let's just go help out, why not? Vamian, so that's the Djinn that we need to kill for unlocking the Elegy armor collection for starters, and also bringing the Djinn back to Sun's Refuge. So this one's a really hard fight, in a sense that you need to move out of the way, and can't remember if CC's involved or not. But this is another phased fight, kind of.
Replenishing.
So you won't see any of the achievements unlocked for me because I've already done it. Alright, so Radiating Brandstone is something he just spawned. Let's get rid of that.
Feel the fury.
In the later phase of the fight, Zia, our friendly Djinn, kind of gets taken out of the fight, so she can no longer protect us. Because right now you'll notice she has an aura of protection about her, and she's kind of keeping us safe from any of the outside attacks. But later on in the fight, she'll be taken out. So back to Vamian. Alright, she's gone. That's what I meant. She can no longer shield us. And we now have to move to a different section to fight him again. This was confusing my first time doing it. I was like, what the hell is going on? And I'm doing it on a class that I don't play often, which is my Revenant, so this will be interesting.
Feel the fury.
I'm neither here
Lethal
nor there.
combinations. I like them in.
If I'm not mistaken, my Revenant's still in like level 76 gear. Could be wrong.
You'll have to hit much harder. Replenishing.
Alright, next phase. He moves a lot, like I said, so we're gonna have to keep up with him. And because of Fear of the Brand, you will get hit by lightning and stuff in here. So if you get stuck in combat and you can't get on your mount because he moves a lot, then you pretty much are screwed. Just wait for a while.
Pain for pain.
Contracted. Maybe I was the illusion all along.
Let's get rid of that CC. Oh, people going down, people going down.
Reinforcements requested.
Lethal combinations. I like.
Seriously.
This is button mashing on my Revenant. 40%. Oh, there he goes.
Anguish.
Ooh, mistouch cash. Well, I'll get that later. Can't just abandon this guy in the middle of the fight. I'm here already. Because this is part of the Sunspear unlock meta, part of the armor meta as well. I don't know if you get... Oh my goodness, that hurt. I do not know if you get like a event chest for this or not. Maybe, because it is a group event, so we'll have to see. Ooh. Painful, painful, painful.
Not now, not ever.
Time to do some real damage.
We got a guy up here. That's a weird place to go down in. In the shelter of 2 crystals. Ow, ow, ow.
Above and beyond.
To think this is what I have become.
And off he goes again. On, mount up. Use the mastery, but it's not enough. It's not enough. Damn it. Come on. I wasted my mastery there. And now I'm in combat. Okay, here we go. So this is the last stage of the fight, and he's gonna spawn 3 crystals, and we have to get rid of all 3 in time. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Once we get rid of all Brandstones, he dies.
Time to do some real damage.
And for those of you on the armor collection, Zia will come back to Sun's Refuge after this. This is how you unlock her.
Yeah, glad to see you too. Commander, I appreciate you. We'll see what intel they can extract.
That's wise. But how are they all connected?
What's my second weapon? Oh, the axe and the...
You're seeing things.
That's where my CC breaker was. My second weapon set. We have about 50 seconds to get rid of the last crystal, and I think we're making great on time, so there's no worry really.
Feel the fury.
40%, 40 seconds, 30%. Yeah, we got this. And done.
Sweet, sweet loot. Yeah, you always were the clever one.
There's some story here too.
About time you admitted it.
Take the staff. Keep the ring. Thank you.
No, wait. You can't do that. You're supposed to. We're not supposed to. Vamian. But I promised you a Djinn. Vamian's gone into the desert wind. Will you have my help instead?
Gladly. Come to Sun's refuge, Zia. We'll plan our attack on Kralkatorrik there.
Good. I have business with a dragon now. Meet me there.
And that's done. I mean, I'm surprised that that dialogue actually played, even though I did this on my other character already, but that's basically what that was all about. She came here to get Vamian, who owned some possession or whatever, and she wanted it back, but we saw Vamian being possessed or being taken over by the brand due to corruption or whatever, so he dies. Kind of sad, but hey, that's what that was about, and I got my POI, so let's move on to the last task. And get out of that striking distance of the damn brand storm. I hate that stuff. When they first introduced that in, I think it was the Domain of Vabi, I think it was, or one of the other POF zones, it's like trying to get up to the top at the same time you have to try and avoid the storm coming down, and then you've got like 3 like hydras just walking around everywhere. It's like, what a nightmare. And that's when like mounts like the Jackal really saved your life, and this was before players were able to unlock the Griffin. The next best mount that we had was the Jackal, because you could avoid trash packs like that pretty fast and pretty easy. Oh, there's a POI here for this character. Also, I don't mind doing map completion on my alts as much as possible because of a chance that you will get a Black Lion trading chest key, which is your loot box key, just for completing a map. I think that's pretty decent. I got that on my Guardian when I did it the first time. I'm not sure how lucky again I'll be.
Shiny.
But for completing that Djinn event, I did see a bunch of Mystodium coming up. So when you're doing events out here on the Jahai landscape, especially if it's the first time you're doing it for that day, or if right after the reset, you will get a bunch. I think the Shatterer gave 5. I saw the Djinn event gave 5. So if you're out and about farming your daily heart task to get Mystodium for your armor, do some of the events whenever they pop up. I think they're a great resource to get some Mystodium stuff. Alright, checking in on chat real quick. Where are we with that? Elizabeth says, I play ESO so much, I pay for the plus. She also says, I craft a hell of a lot, and I quit Final Fantasy because every dungeon I played was always voted out of, which left them with no healer.
Confused and vicious Etten is wandering in the wild.
That's kind of odd to hear. But my sister, I think she's playing Final Fantasy 14 right now in the room. Because I have her on my Discord and I can see what game she's playing. So my sister is a really big FF14 player, and but she's playing on the Japanese server because we are based in Southeast Asia. So Japan servers have lower ping, so it's easier for us to play and stuff like that. But all she's ever told me about the community in Final Fantasy is that very nice people, and so yeah, that's kind of surprising to know that that happens on Final Fantasy. I don't know about the other servers though, like Europe or America for Final Fantasy, so I can't say. We got Mormagil in chat. Hello Mormagil, sorry if I'm getting to your chat late. I don't know what time that was, maybe half an hour ago. Mormagil says, it was still bugged yesterday. Did they fix it? The race, yes, the race is fixed. I can confirm I got it done earlier today, and I was just running around in it earlier, so yeah, definitely fixed, but it took them a while. It was definitely bugged, and definitely one of the things I was very annoyed with in this episode, which is why I'm really thankful that when I was doing my story playthrough,
and their exotic beasts are raging through Alona.
It wasn't that bugged.
We need heroes quickly.
We got Rudy Chang. Rudy says Renegade has never been a class in Guild Wars 2. Only 1 out of 10 Revenants I met on PvP used that. Yeah, I think I got the trophy that gets me the longbow. I think it's a ascended level or ascended rarity longbow, right? Nice to have, I suppose, but out of all the classes that use longbows, I've only ever used it on my thief. In WoW or World vs. World, it's a great tool for catching up with the commander. You know, I think you guys know what I'm talking about, right? You can just shoot ahead and you just jump ahead. That's the only reason I use the longbow for. Just cutting across distances to catch up with my commander. That's all. But yeah, short bows I don't really use them that much. So Renegade is the short bow one for the reps, right? Yeah, I don't plan on using it. In fact, I don't take my Revenant anywhere outside of farming. My Guardian is my main, and that's the way it's gonna stay. Surya in chat. Hello, Surya. Surya says you can use endurance while diving for extra speed boosts. You're only using first stage of speed. There's a second stage of speed too. Eric says hold spacebar for the super dive. Okay, you guys are teaching me something that I may have not known about. I will now experiment with hold spacebar for super dive. There's you see where I'm heading to, guys? Up there, there is a ancient Jahai coin as well. It's on one of those floating pillars. But this is a great way to get some speed on my Griffin. Let's give that a shot. I've never held the spacebar down for anything. I've got my super speed hotbar, or yeah, my speed, general speed, tied to a V button, and then S is my pull up. So I don't know about that second gear shift, if there is a second gear shift. Damn it, I was here yesterday. Why can't I get up? Okay, I see the problem. I can do it here. I just want to get some altitude and test this out. Give me a sec. And I've had the Griffin for a year now. Path of Fire is 1 year old. Let's get some height. Oh, there's another. That's oh yeah, that's the usual Griffin expert course. Yeah. Okay, let's do this real quick. Okay, let me read that again. Okay, Surya says you're only using the first stage of speed. There's a second stage of speed to hold the spacebar for super dive. I did play around with my hotkeys a lot, so that may have changed. So let's just go look at it real quick. Mounty, mounty, mounty. Mount. There we go. C. V is my dive, and then C is my super dive, I think it is. S is my pull up, that's for sure, but it's not mentioned anywhere here, but I do know S is my pull up. Alright, so I'm gonna try C. I think it's that, on ability 2. Alright, let's go. Dive, and then super dive. No, that's my pull up. Alright, dive again. Spacebar dive. Oh, there we go. I'm lost for words. I'm really lost for words. How have I not been using this? I've just been using my V button just to get that initial burst of speed. Look at this. I have just covered the entire Jahai map in one hold of the space button. It's on my face. It really is. Like I'm lost for words. I need to go and have a smoke. This is a revelation. Oh my god.
We're attracting attention.
Surya and Eric, thank you guys. I will now attempt that Griffin Expert Challenge, and I'm definitely gonna get silver and gold. Oh my god. The thing is, I remember doing that in Verdant Brink or something, just to test it when I first got my Griffin. But I've never held on the spacebar that long just to see how far it could go. Yeah, it doesn't work in short distances. That's probably why, and because I've never had to jump off a really high place and had that, you know, height leverage. My basic usage of the Griffin has just been that, just moving around, you know, getting from A to B, but never enough from a high spot, because it's not every day that you hang out in places like you know, Verdant Brink or any of the Maguma maps. So that's pretty cool. Well, that's definitely going to help me with the Griffin adventure, so thank you very much. Elizabeth says, a quick question, is there a tiny race in this game? I'm always the smallest in MMOs. There is, and it is called, just real quick, I'll show you. It is the Asura, and it's this one. The Asuras are the tiny race in Guild Wars 2. They're kind of like the Hobbit or the Halfling, or, you know, that kind of stuff. The only difference is they're... Oh, what was that? Yuzei Freak 1. Sorry if I get your name wrong. I just subscribed. Thank you, Yuzei Freak. Welcome to the channel. But yes, Elizabeth, this is it. They are not your kind of stereotypical, you know, halfling, all about food, big bellies, enjoys life too much. The Asuras in Guild Wars 2, they are a smart race, probably the smartest race. They're all about technology and futuristic stuff, you know, lots of golems and coding and sci-fi stuff. So they're kind of different, but they're kind of cool too. So hope that answers your question. Eric says, Asura is probably your go-to race. They're pretty small. They are indeed. They're not pretty small, they're really small. Surya says, there's a secret cave behind a waterfall. Oh, I've been in there. That's how you unlock the I have a problem saying that damn word. Memorabilia. Let me try again. Memorabilia. But yes, there is a thing in that cave, right? That's the Yetendi stuff you're talking about, right? The Yetendi village waterfall. Because Adrian loves Asura's best race. I do not. I rolled an Asura, and here's the real story, because I've said this before in Guild Wars, and I've said this before on other MMO live streams. I cannot play a kind of like a short race, because the one thing I notice in most MMOs is that when you play a short race, you see the world at that height perspective, and I know that sounds silly because you can change the camera. You can change the camera. Oh boy. There we go. You can change the position to be, you know, that higher or lower, just in case if you're playing a short race and you want to see higher up the world, you can. So that's the cool thing about Guild Wars. But by default, you know, I can't play short races. Like when you're fighting a boss or whatever, you're literally staring at. If you're zooming in, like I like playing over the shoulder, kind of like this. You can only see so much, like the boss's knees or whatever. So most of my races in MMOs have been by default humans, which I know is boring, and a lot of people have said it's boring, and it's not for me, so I don't really have a problem with that. So I like how all these volatile magic are just lined up in a straight row. Perfect. Ding 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 ding. I love mounts, man. In fact, I'm working on a video, something that you guys may have seen for Secret World. You may have seen me do that for the Secret World Legends, and that is, you know, 1 year later after the game's launch. So I'm going to be doing something similar for Guild Wars 2, Path of Fire, 1 year later. We'll talk about everything that's been happening Guild Wars 2 content-wise for the last year, especially the introduction of all the new stuff in Path of Fire. And just because you guys are awesome and you guys are here hanging out on stream, I appreciate your company. So I'm going to share some like insights into what my thought process for the video is. Of course, we're going to talk about mounts. And I said this before, I think Guild Wars 2's implementation of their mount system many years after the game launch is one of the best systems I've ever seen implemented post-launch in a game ever. Because the mounts here are so useful. They've become such an important part, or they are now playing such an important part in an average Guild Wars 2 player's playthrough of their game. For all their daily activities, if you have tried a mount, and if you don't use a mount for whatever reason, you're just missing out, or you're not, you know, in some ways being effective. Like, you totally don't need mounts, because the game was playable without mounts for how many years? 5 years. We had 5 years of Guild Wars without mounts, so we were totally fine. But mounts came in and completely changed it, man, for the better. Like, sometimes you can see mounts come in and they just suck. They're just there. It's like, I remember watching this guy's video, like, he was like moaning about it. Why do we even need mounts, you know? Because waypoints are so easy. You just open up your map, you click on a waypoint, and you're there for a small fee. So what's the purpose of mounts? But little did we know that the functionality of this thing is just incredible. Okay, there is a... Oh no. Okay, I think I'm there. What I wanted to do was get on my Springer. Oh, there we go. And get up there. This is one of those instances where from that vantage point in the Djinn area, I could like super speed and land right on top of this thing. And there's definitely a way to get up there. This is me using what little jumping puzzly skills I have. I want to see what's on the other side of the rock, and I probably should have done that first. But from this vantage point, I don't have much time because there's Branded kicking my ass at the bottom. I'm gonna have to try and get up there. Yeah. Yeah, as if shouting and making noise helps, right? Well, it did comfort me for a bit. Come on! Come on! Damn it. Alright, let's try this side. I think this is safer. Ow. Yeah, boy. There we go. Almost there. And the cool thing is, that was just one way I used to get up. This person in front of me may have come a different way. Somebody else may have flown from the top of somewhere else in their griffin. That's the level of flexibility that a system like Guild Wars 2's movement and mounts offers you for exploration, and kind of why map design, jumping puzzles, and all that good stuff just really, really works. I think this is the last insight that I need for mastery.
Is it just me, or am I amazing?
Is it just me, or am I amazing? Was what my character said. Well, you used to be amazing when I was leveling a Revenant. And I remember this. I remember creating the Revenant because I bought Heart of Thorns for the review. And I remember everybody on the first and second stream. Back then, my channel was so small, hardly anybody watched the streams. But after like a couple of days, people was like, "You picked a Revenant? That's like the worst class level. It's like super hard." I'm like, really? So my first Guild Wars 2 class going all the way up to like 80 was the Revenant. Even though I made my Guardian like 3 years ago, before the leveling streams. My Guardian was made in 2014. But that ended up being my main. Okay, so I have just detoured so much, and I was going to head to the next heart task. This is how you lose your effectiveness as a Guild Wars 2 player. When you're trying to show off the map, and in your mind you're like, I need to farm for these lumps of Mystonium, and then you get into streaming and you realize that when you're streaming you're just having so much fun and talking so much and interacting with everybody in chat, and you just lose track of whatever you're supposed to do. So I apologize that I'm not showing off more of the hard tasks like I said I was going to. I'm just letting the map lead me, you know, take me somewhere. Let's go do things, let's go see things. So there's another vista up there, and I do see a mist-touched cache. Kachi. I'm just mispronouncing words for the fun of it. Ignore me. Give me some Mystonium. There we go. So that's one more Mystonium. And I noticed that they're really upping the amount of rewards they give you when it comes to the unidentified gear. I guess it's a way to try and curb the amount of people running Ishtan a lot, or Palawadan. Even now, Palawadan, man, is 24/7. Like, let's go to Ishtan. Guarantee you. There we go. Oh, my own guild is farming it right now, and I'm missing out obviously because I'm streaming. But Palawadan is 24/7. Oh, Brace Joko! What a lovely statue he's got there. too bad about the branded. I would love to see like a fully operational Alona, which I'm sure people will tell me, if you want to see that, then go play the first Guild Wars, which I have. I have the game, but I haven't played it yet. I've installed it, thinking I would stream the first Guild Wars and try to get to endgame there and just see the story. There are some exclusive Guild Wars achievements and titles that you can bring over to Guild Wars 2, and I've seen a bunch of it. Just really cool. There's another POI over here. There we go. Okay, so this now will lead me to the Pact Vanguard camp and to the next heart task. So let's go ahead and complete that. Prepare the Pact for battle. Now remember at the top of the stream I talked about the Death Branded Shatterer and how there's going to be a couple of meta events, right? Or pre-meta events. One of them comes out of this camp, and I'll show you why. So who do we got here? War Master Steelburn is here. While Almora's obviously up there. Notice all these DERV golems at the back here. Your objective for this task is to fix them up. And there we go. Rata Primus is where we stole these golems from. And when the meta starts for the dragon, what happens is we get them operational, and then there's going to be 4 that's going to be marching all the way north to Almora's stand to battle the Shatterer. So that's what the pre-event is all about, and it does make sense. I like that level of continuity. So we've got these new golems. Let's lead them up there. Same thing with the worms. The worms actually happens somewhere down here, I believe. No, this is right here, Wormhaven. So this is where we're going to get the worm event as well, and then we can bring them all the way up to the battle. Right, so the tasks for these golems, let's start with this one right here. There's a reason why this golem's isolated, because he has his own event. Once in a while, this thing will spawn and it becomes a rogue Derv. You know what, let me just find out what Derv is. It's killing me. I've always seen Derv, but I want to know what it means. Dervs are the pinnacle of a pack. No, I want to know what the acronym stands for. I'm just gonna guess. Defense, Emergency, Response, Vehicle. There we go. I just made that up. So the Derv is looking pretty beaten up. That simply means it needs a shield of some sort. There we go. Shielding segment.
So how do those anti-brand synergies work?
You'll have to ask an Asura for the technical answer.
When you pick up like objectives like that, keep in mind that you can get on your mount to make things faster, and you won't lose whatever you are picking up.
And there were only 2 casualties.
Right, so
Shatterer's getting a nasty
next
surprise.
One. Lights on the engines are flickering, so that means a battery pack, and battery packs are there, so just move along. Get on a mount and move right back. This one's pretty fast to do, but it can get pretty annoying, this task sometimes. Alright, next up. Buzzing a painful pulsing frequency. This is the resonator, and there's one right there again. So you can generally get the hint of what the objectives in this task look like. And there are other variations too. We'll go do some of that. Let me just finish up with the golems first, because doing the golems will get you the most progress. So I highly suggest getting the golems out of the way first, and they're not too hard. Engines, so battery pack. And you got all 3 on this platform. There's only 3. Battery packs, resonators, and shielding segments, so you'll never run out. Or you'll never get confused here. Okay. Final golem. Beaten up, so that's the shield segment. Pick it up. Turn it in. And done. That's got me about halfway done. So other objectives that you can do here, because this is a Pact war camp, they got shot out of the sky by the Lieutenant of Kralkatorek. So obviously they needed a place to set up shop. So what does that mean? It means they're rebuilding as well. So you'll see all the airship debris all over the place. To pick it up, just get on your mount, run over an airship debris, and you now have it, which means you can't fly or can't run at a higher speed or whatever. It'll come straight down to gravity because you're heavy. And once you've picked one up, simply turn it in here. See the airship salvager, and ooh, that's a lot of that's like 10%. There's also an event going on. This is pretty similar to your Silver Waste or the other region event. You've got people fixing the gate here, so just protect them from any brand that spawns. And how do you tell if it's disbranded or not? This one doesn't have the cross swords on their head, which means they are not the event-specific mobs. You'll know an event-specific mob when you see it. Takes a while to spawn, though. Alright, while we wait, I'm going to check in chat real quick. Rudy says, is there going to be an open PvE... What? PvE VP map on Guild Wars 2? What do you guys think? I think it will be a cool option. For me, World vs. World already does that in some capacity. You know, because it uses a very familiar formula for open world map PvP content. Games like Dark Age of Camelot kind of popularized, and then every other MMO has since used that formula, Guild Wars 2 included. I like to see a hybrid of that, and I don't really think you could base a whole game on that, but you know, it's going to be a niche when you do stuff like that.
Real damage.
And the one thing that Guild Wars 2 should never ever do is become a niche when it comes to content offering. As soon as Guild Wars 2 tries to shoehorn players into doing one particular type of content, the game is screwed. This game has built its entire following based on offering something for everybody, even though, you know, some areas are lacking compared to others, but it holds a higher standard in terms of accessibility when it comes to the content it offers. So that was the Building the Gate event that got done. It did move my progress bar a little bit. There's another event here from Vigil Sergeant Eshid. That's a hard one to pronounce because it just sounds so close to shit. I'm just gonna call her Sergeant, alright? Vigil Sergeant. Her event's all about following her, escorting her to the Argon Garrison, and this is where we fought the Deadeye Sniper, the Priestess of Balthazar, Zafira, in Chapter 4 from the Ashes. So, we will go with her, pick up the stuff, and bring it back, and this is part of a collection as well. Do this collection event 3 times, and this Priori Historian will tell you the full story about Palawa Joko in terms of that garrison and stuff like that, which is really interesting. It's through this historian I found out Joko had a daughter or something like that, and I'm like, what? You know? So it's like really cool stuff, and that's an achievement as well. I'm not going to do it because this one needs a lot of people. Doesn't scale well with just a couple of people in there, because there's going to be so many mobs spawning in there, trying to slow your progression and stuff. If there's more people around, which I thought there would be, it's Saturday night for me, so, you know. Oh well. So that leaves me with either picking up more airship parts, or the final objective that players can do for this hard task is something so simple and mundane, you can do this in your sleep. Pick up branded shards. See these training dummies? You just hit your skill button and then you just drop it there. Bing! And that moves it along. So for those that are really lazy and don't want to do any of the golem fixing up or the airship debris picking up, you can pretty much just spam this. But it goes really slowly though. But the important thing is, remember how I said that this area, the Pact base here, is where one of the Pre-shatterer events meta chain happens, right? The Derv Golem bringing up. Well, the cool thing is, you can actually learn, or this is a great hint as well for that fight, because these branded shards, you will see a lot of them drop during the Shatterer fight, if you saw the stream earlier. In fact, we'll go do another one. It's 11 PM, it's been 2 hours since the first Shatterer, so in about 10 minutes or so, we will get a pre-event. These branded shards right here are actually, if you look at it, I wish they'd done a better job of explaining to people, you can use the branded shard to break the CC bar for the Riftstalkers and for the Shatterer as well. Not a lot of people know that. So, a lot of people, I think there should be some dialogue here giving away that info, saying, oh, here's the Dervs.
Worst bit about this dragon business?
Dragon pre-vet. So here's what I'm going to do.
Engineers that travel was required, so rigging these to drive themselves was an eventful experience. In sum, these suits will critically overheat if left on autopilot too long, so move with high velocity.
You heard the Asura. Scram!
I just called it out in map chat. Let's try and get some more people, because this one's really hard. These are the Dervs that are making their way north to the Shatterer. And
who wants to go raid the garrison? Find me some trigger-happy hero.
The cool thing about it is if we do succeed, and this is a hard one to succeed because a lot of mobs will come and attack and stuff like that. Chance of you know, succeeding this one's really slim. The thing is, you can then get into these golems. I'm not sure if you saw one of my videos. I think it was my review video. There's a clip of me walking to the fight with a golem. Yeah, you could get into the golem and use it, which is really, really cool. There's no chance in hell I'm gonna keep these 4 guys safe by myself. Definitely not. So we may just go on without golems. I don't know. Oh well. Okay, in the meantime, I'll check in chat. Alright, chat, what's up? Elizabeth says, oh, it's so cute. Abdulatif in chat says, nice. Eric says, I personally... Oh, hang in. Hang in there, I'll get back to you in a sec. Really? Am I the only one that's gonna defend the golems? No, well, there's... Okay, 1 more, 2 more, great. The more people that comes, the more the scaling issue will get worse. On this map, it happens a lot. You'll see events just scaled so much out of proportion. So let's see what a group of less than 5 would do. Because I have seen elite mobs and champion mobs spawn even when there's like less than, what, 5 people? So that could hinder us a lot. Please. I really want golems for this one. There's only been 1 successful Shadow event I've done with golems. Every other time had like worms and stuff. And these golems look pretty cool too. I like the coloration on them.
Protect the Durbs!
Elite branded, yay! Excellent, just what we needed. This is where my Guardian would come in super handy. Firebrand, baby. I don't know my Revenant well enough to figure out what to do here in a situation like this. But I just remember making myself tanky for Heart of Thorns. Ow! In terms of awakened enemies, occultists are my least favorite awakened enemy to fight. Devourers are a close second because of how annoying they are. You know, they shoot from distance and then they run away, and if you don't have a pull mechanic or a close gap skill or whatever, it gets really annoying. These branded humans... Oh, what do we got? Alcedo just subscribed. Thank you, Alcedo. Appreciate the support. Welcome to the channel. Okay, I've always used the first skill to throw the branded shard. What does the second skill do? Breaks stuns. Shatter the shard, applying bleeding to yourself, but blowing out nearby branded. Ah, I've only ever used the first one. Applies vulnerability and heals the derv. Nice, so in this situation, the dervs get healed. Cool, I will keep that in mind.
Time to do some real damage.
Come on, dervs. We have 10 minutes until shutdown. So the entire pre-meta Shatterer event is to get them to Almora stand in 10 minutes. We got a long way to go. Oh my god. It's a longer pre-event chain compared to the lowlands Shatterer, that's for sure. These guys are the suicide branded. They just explode. There's not much you can do about it unless you can stun them from afar.
You heard the War Master. Not a single scratch.
Ooh, empty Jahai Bluffs chest. Well, that's kind of tempting. But I'll come back for that. Ah, Champion Minotaur. Here we go. Here we go. Do we even have enough? I do not know. Come on, everybody, focus on the champ.
could outrun a centaur.
Ow. CC bar is still up and doing well. I think by default, like if everyone's playing an alt character, nobody puts like a CC breaker on their bar for whatever reason. It's like we're in like a big event or in a big fight or whatever, or fractals, we all on our main characters bring as many CCs as needed per fight or whatever. But if it's an alt that you rarely roll out, oh shit! I did not see that jump. Great.
I could use a hand over here.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Swap some weapon sets. Die. Again.
Replenishing.
I owe you one.
Thank you very much. He's dead. Okay. Come on, we're so far away. My goodness. And the more time we spend killing champion mobs, we're never gonna make it. I think this is one of the reasons why we kind of never see a lot of dervs in Shatterer fights so far. It's because we never make it. I think a lot of the time we're just hogged down fighting a lot of elite champion mobs that, and the thing with the Guild Wars 2 is that sometimes players, they just want to wait there. They just want to wait, and even if they know that the pre-event chain's happening, whatever, nobody wants to put in the extra work. And I've been kind of guilty of that as well, especially with the old Shatterer. You know how we just all wait at the camp and let other people go do the pre-event or whatever. It's really similar, and it's to no fault of anybody. I mean, that's just how you want to play. You want to play that way, that's totally fine. Come on, come on. How close are we? I'd say halfway there. Halfway there. Come on. That's where we need to go. I'll more stand, baby. Come on. Oh, boy. That's a really cool attack, though. What would make this pre-event better, honestly, if ArenaNet lets us players, or let at least 2 players, control 2 out of the 4 dervs? That would give players more incentive to actually run the pre-event, because somebody gets to play a cool golem and use some of the cool skills that it has. I think that'll be pretty, you know, it's a good incentive, and also a risk, because if the player controlling the golem messes up, then we're 1 golem short for the fight for the Shatterer. I mean, that's fair, because in situations like that, you know, it's up to us to decide whether we should stay and fight or we should just move on. In this case, the golems, because they're NPCs, all they ever do is just fight.
Feel the fury.
Come on, let's go. We have 6 minutes. My God, I don't think we're gonna make it. And of course, the tornado is coming our way. Oh, really? That's not gonna sit too well, because the tornado does damage if you're on foot on ground. And if we are gonna get ambushed right now in this pass with the tornado here, we don't have a chance. We do not have a chance. Unless you cheese it by hanging on the rock here, like what I'm doing. But I am still taking damage, so... Oh my God. Let's just see if there's any enemies that spawned while we are all wasting time on the tornado. Oh, look at that. So this is one of the areas, I think, of the derv pre-event that could be better. I don't know if it's scripted like that, or we just bad luck that we ran into the tornado in this valley kind of pass here, where the mobs just start spawning. Because we're definitely going to waste at least a couple of minutes here if there's a champion or an elite mob. There we go, that's an elite mob. Well, I'm going to go for it, because I think we've wasted too much time here already. I've failed too many derv events to fail this one now. I will not fail this derv event. I don't care. We are not failing this.
I could outrun a centaur.
Die! Okay, lots of devourers here. We have 4 minutes. Oh, what is he shooting now? Jarakan. I freaking hate Jarakandas, man. Those freaking flying plants. I hate them so much. Oh, that's the one right there. Alongside the... oh, wow, double ambush. I just saw that. Alright, here we go. Incoming! Let's get rid of all these crap. Ow.
This is getting serious.
This is definitely the wrong character to do this event with, honestly. But it's too late to go over to my guard now. Oh, champion mob. Just what I was hoping for. To slow us down some more. Because we do not have the CC to break this guy's bar. Well done. Just called out for help in map chat. Let's get more people here. Let's get rid of that branded champion. We have 3 minutes. Okay, let's go. Let's go.
Replenishing.
Wow, this is the Valley of Death. This is where I think a lot of us will be spending, or this is where we're wasting the most time, I think.
Consumes at my whim.
Another champion devourer. And we've got 2 minutes. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna make this Derv run any more successful. If I can get the aggro for this champion, and but the Derv's already shooting at it, so that's a hard no. But it is burning. It is burning. We still have a couple of minutes. As long as the Dervs don't get distracted by some other nonsense, we should be able to move on, Dervs. What is that? Another champion at the back? Yeah, it's another champion at the back.
Sweet, sweet.
Okay, stop shooting at shit already. Move. Move, move, move! You're so freaking close. It's one straight road to the top. Move! I'm feeling the stress. Oh, here we go. I see lots of branded. Oh my. Never say never. It's still early days. We can do this. Champion branded at the back, which has got our attention now. Oh
Endurance
boy.
Running low.
I could use a hand over here.
– 40 seconds. It's gone. I mean, I did see map chat calling out for like the Djinn event or whatever, so yeah. The worm event for the Shatterer is way easier than the Dervs are. You put in a lot of work. You put in 10 minutes of work for the Dervs, and it kind of sucks that it doesn't matter. 9 seconds. It's over. Could have used a couple more. It failed. Look how close we are. So the Dervs kind of collapsed over there, and all we needed was a couple more steps. Ah, that's so disappointing. That's so upsetting. That's some bullshit. And that is why I will never do the derp event again. At least I got it on stream, you know, to show people what that's like and why people don't run it as often. I mean, I gave it a fair shake, but unfortunately, I think that's one pre-event that is never gonna work. It just requires too much. Just like the Chantry one, the two events that are never gonna work are Derbs for one, and secondly is the Chantry. This event that, you know, where the brand attack from 3 locations is never going to work unless it's an organized, super organized group. Otherwise, nah. Alright, in the meantime, I will check it in chat because I know I have been neglecting chat for a while.
How go the preparations?
I've strapped javelin quivers on every griffin. Bring your mount to the roost, Commander, and I'll fix you up.
So yeah, you can use griffins. You can rent a griffin, and
look prepared.
You can use that to get rid of the rift stalkers and stuff like that.
We're here to fix that, aren't we?
So while we wait for the next Shatterer, I'm going to be checking in on chat real quick. Let's go up and scroll. Where are we? Oh, sorry guys, hang on. I'm just scrolling up to see where
Time to bring in our guest of honor.
Where did I stop? Alright, Eric says, I personally hate that half of Vobby's branded. In a way, me too. I mean, it makes for a great landscape, or it makes for a great vistas or whatever, but other than that, it's just not one of my favorite places. Not one of my favorite places. Never played Guild Wars 1, but I knew it was supposed to be a cultural pinnacle in Lona. Yeah, the whole Sun Spear thing, and I just heard a lot of good things about it. Eric also say, recently watched the Mythic Gambit stream, and oh boy, they got this grand Elonian palace inside that's just breathtaking. Mythic Gambit, you mean the Mythrite Gambit? Yeah. I was watching, I watched Potatoes one, and I also watched Rocco or Roca. Can't remember his name. Damn it. I was really tired. But yeah, it's the new raid fight stuff. I mean, I've never done, but it just looks interesting. Moore McGill says a PvE VP map not possible, but I could easily see them adding dueling at some point. Dueling is actually already in like in Sunspear. In Sun's Refuge, there's actually a dueling ring. I think you can bring a friend, and you and your friend can fight in that ring. I think so. I could be wrong, but I definitely saw that ring in there. We got Lucas in chat saying, cool character visual. Oh, thanks. If you meant my outfit, I just bought something off the store and rolled with it. What else? Lucas says, oh, when I did this hard, I thought I had to use these shards on actual enemies. Oh, yeah, we all figure it out eventually, but yeah, those are for the training dummies, and you can sit there and spam it all day long and just progress it, but it's really slow. That's the thing. Okay, so we have no golems and no worms because the worm pre-event, I guess nobody did too. But you see the same shards dropping here, so you can pick it up and use that to hit the enemies and hit the Rift Stalkers whenever they spawn. So since there's nothing here, wow, where is everybody? there's nobody for the Shadow event, and I'm just here by myself. Well, there's a couple of people. What's going on, guys? Does nobody want to do the event? This is funny. I just saw like I saw at least 10 people, and then after like the first phase, everybody just ran away. Probably because they saw that the CC bar wasn't broken, so people just rage quit the event. Yeah, we're not doing enough CC. It doesn't matter for Shatterer, it really doesn't, because at the end of the day, as soon as people start trickling in, there's enough DPS for everybody. So I'm not too bothered by the Shatterer still having a CC bar, honestly. Yeah, nobody's here. There's like 4 of us. And this guy has like a 15 minute timer, so you definitely want some numbers here. Oh well, at least I got the daily done on my Guardian earlier, so I wouldn't have to worry about this. If this was my only chance at a Shatterer, then yeah, I'd be a little pissed. Can you imagine putting in all that work to do the pre-Shatterer event and that failed? And then when you come to do the Shatterer, it's like, nobody gives a shit.
Pain for pain.
Revenant is just a bad luck class for me. I'm gonna log off and coming to go play my Thief or something. But yeah, I did finish the Pact Visual Camp Heart. I have not bought my lump of currency thingamajiggy. So I need to go do that before logging out. Okay, this is the real test though. If we don't have the DPS to get rid of the Riftstalker, then there's no point doing this. I am out of here. Let's see if we can get rid of the Riftstalker. Yeah, I see CC bar going down pretty good. "30 seconds max. Anything longer than that, and the Shatterer will go back up to full health." In between all this, you'll see like centaurs running around, branded centaurs like at the back there. Those are just to piss you off and knock you back. In addition to the tornadoes and people that just pulls you and do stupid stuff like that. Oh, well, that's pretty cool, but not what I needed right now. I'm just flying up in the air. Ow, 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 freaking centaurs! Bugger off! At the same time, Shatterer is still healing. What is he at? 87%. I don't know. Well, since I put in all that effort into trying to get the dearth here, I may as well see it through. You know? Just getting one disappointment is not enough. Might as well get the combo, right? Get a double whammy. Alright, in the meantime, I'll check chat. Alright, chat, where are we? Lucas says, wait, so you can use these golems? Yeah, you can. I mean, not during the pre-event, but once you've unlocked them, they usually get parked at the back there on the first camp. That's where I managed to check it out the first time, and I thought it was really cool. But that was like one of the first few fights when the game went live, so it's like not a whole lot of people knew about it, and I just saw it was interactable and I got it, and it's like, yeah, cool. 77%. The next heal phase is gonna spawn 2 Riftstalkers, and that's where I'm worried. If you go beyond his first front legs, I don't know. I don't understand. I mean, I wonder if that's a good place to stand or not. All I've ever seen is just people just getting his front legs here. 69%, slowly chipping away here. From the sound of my voice, you know I've pretty much given up and I have no hope for this particular event. 8 minutes remaining. Only the healing phase is our best guess at the moment. Come on, bring on the heal phase. Alright, let's check in chat some more while I get knocked around. I mean, the Revenant's pretty tanky, so I think I can. No, I can't. Spoke too soon. Alright, next up in chat, where are we? Lucas says, oh, so that skill is why I see so many people pushing the enemies away during the Shatter event. Rudy says, have you tried commanding on Wuv Wuv? Commanding on Wuv Wuv is going to take a lot of runs with, the various different commanders that whoever I get to play with. Because I'm on Isle of Yanthair, we are not big enough to, be our own kind of like server. Isle of Yanther gets paired up with a whole bunch of servers from time to time. This time last year it was Sea of Sorrows, and then it went on to becoming Fort Aspenwood, and shortly after we paired with oh gosh, I forgot already. I mean, we've made the rounds, so all the commanders that I've ran with and I put in my friends list, after a while I get rid of them because we never see each other again. So it's hard to be consistent and learn from one, you know, commander in particular. I mean, you can watch YouTube videos, you can read about commanding in WoW. The only way for me to learn is to actually go and do it yourself. But in a situation where there's so much at stake, this isn't like a dungeon where you go in and we all work together for PvE, you know, because everybody wins at the end of the day. In PvE, it's not something where you can go in there and try and lead and be kind of like wrapped in cotton wool and expect a fun, conducive learning environment. No, because in PvP, where WoW, somebody has to lose. So it really is going to take a lot of time and heal face, a lot of time and stuff. So no, I don't intend to anytime soon. Okay, one of these Reef Stalkers are going down pretty fast. It's not ours. It is ours. Okay, that's because all of us are on this side and there's nobody on the other Rift Stalker. Well, let's just try to get this one down as quick as possible. Alright, checking in chat some more. Lucas says Staff Revenant is the best to CC, which is great for, news for me. I mean, I've got the Meta Battle bookmarked and I do check it a lot, but like I said, the Revenant is one of those classes. 6 out of my 8 level 80 tunes, I only play 2 out of that. And the rest I just bring on whenever there's a new episode to farm the new map currency. So that's my reasoning for playing the Revenant you see right now. Otherwise I have no reason to get on and play. But this stream was all about showing off the new map, the new events, the new tasks and stuff like that. So it's a good day for all my alts because they get their fun in the sun. Otherwise they're just parked there crying in the darkness, wondering when I'm gonna give them some love. And that's just not for Guild Wars 2, like the other 10 games I have with alts. It's such a sad thing. It's a sad life to be an alt, to know you're not loved enough by your master. And in some cases, they used to be your main, and then the game borked them with nerfs and whatever, and class changes, and then they became alts, and they die in sadness and depression. That's the life of an MMO alt, and somebody should totally write a poem or make a song or do a YouTube documentary about MMO alts. I think I'll do it. I'll be the one to do that because it's a great topic, you know, the system of alts and the life that alts live. I don't know where I'm going with this, but I think it's a great topic. Shatterer just healed up to 70%, and we're not even in the next phase, which is 3 Rift Stalkers, so I don't think we'll get this one on time. I don't think so. I'll still give it a shot. We have some dedicated people here at the Shadow right now. Okay, check it in chat some more. Lucas says, you died just to use that CC, right? I did. I think so. I wasn't even paying attention to the fight because I'm just talking too much now. Like, in fact, my effort for this is just gone, you know, I just don't feel like it anymore. Ever since the Dervs died, you worked so hard to bring him right to the doorstep and then they just fail. I think the timer on that Derv event should at least increase a little bit. I mean, you guys saw the amount of numbers we had, and for it to be spawning 2 champs, 1 front, 1 back, with that sort of numbers, it's just impossible to get it on time. And I've seen it happen successfully with a bigger group, but otherwise it's just hard. So phase 3 anytime now, and that's where this will fall apart. I just have a feeling there's no way 3 Shatterers and then back on burning Shatterer. If we do get him down in the next 3 minutes, I will send, let's see, let's look for a player here. Alright, this guy, Squire Blue Patch. I will send this guy a mail and give him like a gold if we do beat the Shatterer. Well, that's my promise. If we beat him. That guy gets a gold, if I can remember his name. Shit, I just forgot. Squire something. Well, that's a bad idea. Screw it. Let's just fight. Let's just fight and see what happens. I'm trying to keep myself motivated and give myself fun challenges to see this through. Come on. Where's phase 3? Unless, of course, we already did it, which I don't remember doing. There we go. Phase 3. So, here comes the big challenge. Let's see where the bulk of people are going to. I'm on the ground and can't move. Sadness is the right word. In fact, no. I was gonna go hit the stalker and you know what? I'm just gonna go and waypoint back and die or something. We have 2 minutes. It's oh, never mind. Sorry. Oh. This is terrible. Just sneak a heal in there. Ah. No. No. 71% with a full CC bar. And a minute to go. This was a valiant effort, everybody. And this Squire Blue Patch guy, the guy on the floor there, he's just typing out in chat. Pain. Despair. I'm gonna read out his chats. Sadness. Death and Despair Part 2. Oof. I like that. You know, when you're dead on the ground and all you can do is just commentate on the fight that's happening around you. That's actually pretty funny. Okay, we have 2 more Rift Stalkers at pretty much full health. And the Shatterer is now at 50%. No chance.
Not enough energy.
So here's what I'll do. I'll spend the rest of my... Oh, hang on. There's a steel chest in there. Oh, I see. My bags are full, which is why... Because I have got the AoE mastery, AoE loot mastery, but I was wondering why I was looking at the chest, but it appears that my bags are full, and yeah, it is. And these are the runes I was talking about that you can unlock for Sun's Refuge, which drops from all kinds of mobs here. So I will spend the rest of the fight picking up dead people, I suppose. Alright, Squire Blue Patch, for your fun chats. This guy has been moaning about his death for the past like couple of minutes, so we're finally picking him up. Bless you, sis. Oh gosh. So that's a bust. What happens when we don't kill him is he flies away and he comes back in 2 hours. So that's the first time I've failed this Shatterer in particular, but you know, I think it's just bork luck. I think we're on a map instance that not a lot of players are kind of doing that, or everybody did it the first one when I did it on my engineer or my guardian, sorry. So it's cool. It's cool. I'm just pissed off about the Derv event. I'm still pissed off about the Derv event. Let's go back here and let's buy our lumps of things. All right, checking in chat real quick. Lucas says, "Are you using a specific Rev build or just gear you had lying around in the bank?" Gear I had lying around the bank. I think playing through all the expansion content and everything, like I had so many boxes of exotic stuff and laystone armor, you know, when I farm dragon stand metas and all the hot metas. My guardian is fully decked out in Zoija's armor, so I don't have a use for all the exotics, so I just pass them on in the bank and all my alts just benefit from that. So, last order of business is to buy my final stack of Mistonium on this character and bank that in. So I do have, how many do I have? 16. That's a good number actually. Where did the extra 5 come from? Because you get 5 per heart task daily, and then if you do the other events, you may get 5 extra or something like that. So I may have done something. So that's cool. So that's 20 now. 21. So let's go ahead and deposit that. And oh shit, there's more. Ah. Okay. I was expecting more there, but it didn't happen. Great. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna log out into my DH duty and check the vendor, just see my total, because I didn't see how much total I have and if I had enough to buy another piece. But that's basically my plan for the next few weeks. It's just whenever I got free time, I'll get on and I'll farm the hard task, take part in some of these stuff. And I do have a bunch of other collections. Like there's one more collection from this particular map, which is basically the Star's Guidance Mastery in itself, where you complete about 38 of these and you unlock a piece required for Palawa Joko's staff, which is this one, Dark Tool for Dark Times, and you get everything, and then you get an exotic staff, which looks interesting. I mean, I'm not a fan of that skin. It just looks too plain. It looks like something from like ancient Egyptian, like Sun Spear stuff, but it doesn't have anything unique about it. You know, like if you look at some of the rewards that we've had for weapons over the last year or so. I mean, everything just looks better than some of these default weapon skins, which is kind of underwhelming. Like even the community weapons, the design and weapon contest, the Eclipse Sword, the Great Sword, the torch that I'm using the skin for. I forgot the name of the torch, and then the normal sword. Even those are so much fantastic rather than this base staff skin. But yeah, it is an exotic staff, and I think, what stats are those? Vitality, healing power, condition damage, concentration. I will have a fight. One of my alls can definitely use it, so I'll just throw it that. And of course the inevitable title, so that's one more. But offense, the best offense is what I'm aiming for as well, which is basically why I'm farming my lumps of Mystonium, is to unlock all the other skins for the different weights, so medium and light. And once you do that, you'll get a box of Ascended Armor chests. These are hard to come by in terms of a box where you get to choose your own stats. Otherwise, you can just craft your own. And then, or if you get them from drops, like if you do Tequaddle religiously on a daily basis, or, you know, just do lots of World vs. World, one of these boxes will drop, but in most cases, you don't get to choose the stats. The box of Ascended Armor already drops for you, so you may get like a whoop or something, and you don't have a choice but to manually go and change the stats yourself by crafting an exotic version of that insignia, or, you know, stuff like that. So that's this is a good way just to get another free armor, and I can work on clearing one of my alls. So that's why I am farming. Other than that, though, I'll spend some time just talking about the map in general and comparing it to the previous map, the Domain of Korna. And I've seen a lot of people just bitch about Domain of Korna, how they didn't like this map, and what they feel or what they find frustrating about Domain of Korna. I personally don't have an issue with Korna. I do agree that Jahai Bluffs is way better than Korna, because the way it was designed, it just flows great. And for simple stuff like the Jackal portals, they have so much better usage for them in this map. The Jackal portals in this map actually leads you directly to places of use, or as, you know, acting as a direct connector, rather than just taking you to an empty room, or to a room where a chest may or may not be there, or to like a Hamzine trade cache or whatever. That's what pissed me off with Jackals and their portals way back then, because they had such a niche use. If you know there's a POI or a Vista missing, okay, there must be a Jackal portal somewhere. So it kind of relegated the Jackal down to like one of those mounts, like, yeah, don't care, I'll bring you out whenever I want to, you know, get away faster for a race, whatever. On this map, though, Jackals are coming back in style. Like, it's when you think of shortcuts, a lot of the portals are definite shortcuts, and they're great. Other than that, some of the events are hit or miss, especially, like I said, the Chantry one. All right, let's go ahead and come here. The event is on. In the 10 or 12, 15 times I've done this event, it's just, I was about to say trash, because of the scalability and how nobody cares about this one, because it's just made to scale horribly. So what happens here is that before, we got 15 seconds. What you normally do is you'd go and pick up 3 different representatives. So I got one there, and then you can get another one here. And then what you do is you'd lead them to one of these defense points, and they stay there as NPCs to fight. So there's 3 different entrances here, so I just drop them off. There we go. So they're going to stay here and fight. As you can see, I'm alone here, and there's going to be tons of people. Let me just see where the bulk of people is. Usually it's the cave. People just love hanging around the cave because it's such a small, narrow passageway to fight. So lots of, there we go. Lots of AoEs, lots of CCs. It really works here. Why am I in my bow? And it's really easy to take care of large packs of mobs in here. But what happens when everybody just goes to their favorite spot and leave the other two? Look at that, Cormyr statues now going down because the enemies are taking over, and no one's in an old arch entrance as well, so that's why we fail. But this is one of those events that nobody cares. Nobody cares. It's like, yeah, so what? We're just here to fill up the heart task. So I hope ArenaNet sees this, and my feedback to them for this particular map is really incentivize some of the stuff they're trying to do with the events. Some of them scale piss poorly, like this one, and maybe the dirt event. Some of them are just in the way, like this one's kind of in the way. And failing doesn't really have a consequence. If you fail this one, I mean, the first time I failed, I expected like a full-on invasion, and you know, for the branded awakened to come and take over or whatever. But when you fail this one, like we just did there, we failed. So we get some of these remnants here that we can fight, but beyond that, there's no repercussions. So that means players will come back and do the same thing again, which is just kill what they need to kill, fail the event, and move on. Oh, a Rune of Thorn dropped from a branded awakened. So for those of you struggling to find a Rune of Thorn, that's where it drops from.
Times to step out of the shadows. It has to be this one.
So, yeah, that one fails a lot. The Chantry event. Right, checking in on chat really quick. Where are we? Lucas says maybe extra golems like the exalted armors in Terrair. Yeah, that would help, I suppose, if you're talking about the Shatterer fight. Lucas also say must be some weird scaling happening then, probably fixed soon, but not soon enough. That's one of the things, though. I think with Guild Wars 2, like the story's been great. This update, a lot of the map, the design, the collection. To me, the collection here is not as good as like the Dauntless Commander banner backpack thing. That was more fun because you actually went out and saw, you know, old parts of Middle Earth. I was about to say Middle Earth, old parts of Guild Wars again, Corteria, which I kind of enjoyed. This one is a lot more grinding involved, especially when you want to get all the armor sets. But otherwise, it's a pretty good map. It's just buggy, and that sort of kind of annoys us a little bit, I think, as players, because, you know, they've had 3 months to prepare the patch and put it out with a lot of time for testing. But Guild Wars is one of those games, especially Guild Wars 2, where there's no player involvement when it comes to feedback of any internal testing kind of thing. I think you know what I'm getting at, like a beta, but it's their way of doing things, and bugs do happen. At least we got it fixed. Like the really breaking ones, like we can't progress for the armor or whatever, that's been fixed. The race has been fixed, which is great. Now they should look at all the other small scale issues like events bugging out, or you know, just the scalability of it all, because sometimes in about 3 or 4 weeks, when everybody's done through the episode, player activity on this map will probably decrease as we all go back to our old hunting grounds. For me, probably I'll go back to hot meta and keep running that, in addition to farming Ishtan in Palaudan. Or Palaudan and Ishtan. So this is not going to be somewhere where I hang out once I've gotten my stuff. So when you got new players coming to this particular map, you want to make sure that the event, especially those events, scale properly with the amount of players taking part. And if ArenaNet can't get that right, then players are going to struggle. So here we go. I can purchase only... well, I've got 127 on me right now. So it's going to take me probably a full week before I get the next set. I'll probably go light next because light looks good. Medium is just...
Thank you.
Ugh. I don't like how it looks on medium. As for those wondering what that looks like if you just joined the stream, why is the new armor set such a big deal, or stuff like that? Well, I'll show you the heavy armor version, which I did earlier in the stream, but for those of you just joining the stream, this is kind of what you can do with it. This is how it looks. This is the heavy armor variant. They glow. You got, you know, smoky orb, glowy aura about it that you can dye. So this is one of those armors where you can individually dye the colors of the extra pieces, which is kind of why it's highly coveted and why they've put a really long grind behind it. So yeah, hope you guys have enjoyed your grind or enjoying your grind. Let me catch up and chat real quick. We got Russian in chat. He says Guild Wars is one of the legend games. It's legendary, the first one. I suppose a lot of people have told me go back and review that because, you know, you play Guild Wars 2 now, at least, you know, have the experience of going back to the first game and figuring out what it's all about. And I'm like, yeah, I would rather do that than having to read through the first Guild Wars lore by visiting a wiki or something, you know, even though that is probably the fastest way to get up to speed on the history. And I have done that, actually. I have read through, poured into the wiki. There are Guild Wars 2, one of the best things about ArenaNet is they value their community a lot, which I appreciate. From players to art people, they highlight a lot of artistic people that are fans and players of Guild Wars 2 a lot on your Twitch. And then they also partner with a lot of, you know, YouTubers, content creators about the game and stuff. And there, in terms of the content creators, there's so many good YouTube channels, Twitch channels out there that talk about lore, and I highly encourage you to check some of them out. That really goes deep into the backstory of, you know, why are the Char, what's the history or what's the beef between humans and Char. And for all this Path of Fire stuff, a lot of people didn't like the Sunspear theme. They're like, oh great, desert people, why? I've seen that. That's actually one comment on one of my Path of Fire reviews. And the thing is, they don't understand that Ilona and the Crystal Desert and Sunspears were all part of the lore in the past. So by having that sort of knowledge, it really helps you at least try and immerse and integrate yourself into the game a little bit more. That's why story is important. But I think with some people, you can never please everybody with an MMO. People play MMOs for more reasons than just story or lore. So, hey, can't have everything, but for me at least, one of these days I'll definitely jump back in and play through Guild Wars 1. We'll see how that goes. Robin Wagner in chat. Hello Robert, long time no see. He says, enjoying the patch. Yes sir, I am enjoying the patch. These days I'll take whatever I can take, you know. My work life is really a mixed bag at the moment, so whatever I get to play and whatever time I get to play, I'll just play it. I've been lucky to get a lot of breaks this particular month and last month to check out like Battle for Azeroth for Warcraft and Guild Wars 2's episode. And now I gotta find a way to integrate the Elder Scrolls Online. Murkmire's coming out. I've been jumping in and out of Warframe for a video. And for those of you that are watching this that are not Guild Wars 2 players or whatever, just give you guys a quick update on what's coming on my channel. I have about 14 videos lined up. One of them is going to be out right after this stream, and it's about ESO. And then from then on, there's going to be a ton of stuff. Discussion videos, news videos, and all the good stuff. It's just, I need to sit down and really start editing and rendering them. That's the killer part. Lots of time involved there. Anyway, I'm just going to wrap this up real quick. I think I've shared my thoughts about the Jahai Bluffs. For those watching later, feel free to share thoughts about, you know, if you want the story. Did you like this new map compared to the last one, Domain of Korna? Korna had a fun meta in terms of a chain event. Like I said at the top of the stream, we're all aiming to get into, you know, Joko's fortress and raid the hell out of it, and that was fun. And beyond that, the tasks, the hard tasks in Korna felt alive because there's, wherever you go to, there's some form of like hectic frontline combat thing going on, especially here between Ridlocks and the pirate one here. There's a lot of action in these front lines, which really made it feel like when you log in and you go in, like, okay, something's happening. It's the back ones that really are annoying, especially the Allied encampment heart. This one was all about killing those little chicken spy birds and stuff. I did not enjoy that part of it. Other than that, the landscape was easy to get around. I've got no complaints about it. And in fact, getting to the meta was so easy because there's a portal right here that took you right there. So whenever the meta's up, everybody could simply just go there. With the new map, I mean, you don't get that level of accessibility in terms of getting straight to the shadow or whatever. I mean, you can get pretty close because Sun's Refuge is right here, and then it's just a quick beetle drive up. Or a quick portal. I do believe there is a Jackal portal from east through the jungle anomaly and then out here. So in a quick span of 2 portals, you should be at Almar Stand. So it's a smaller map too, I think, compared to Corna. But really, it's the story that really works on this map for me, because it integrates everything that we saw. The throwbacks, you know, the Invasion of War, as I said so many times. There's so many little nuanced references and hidden gems, you know, that really, I think if you play Guild Wars 2 a lot, you'll look at that and it's like, oh, I got that, you know, I got that reference, or I totally remember that name, you know, that kind of thing. So this was a really fun map. I enjoyed it. And that's about it, guys. I hope, I think I've covered everywhere that I needed to cover. I mean, I didn't go to the Maguma area on the stream or here, but I've done it in pretty much everywhere else. Those are the major events, stuff like bounties, and then there's the champion hunts for some of the achievements too, that they just roam, and it's all about going and getting them out. The real big ones are, the entire big meta chain is that damn dragon, and those 2 pre-events that you really want, the Dervs and the Worms. That's it. Other than that, the Djinn event is for your collection, the tree events for your collection. Those are off the cuff, and the general consensus is once you've done it the first time for the collections, you generally don't revisit them again. Where stuff like the Shatterer, it happens a lot as a daily in this map, so it makes sense to go back and do it a lot. Also for the lumps of Mystonium. So that's it from me, you guys. I hope this has been fun and entertaining for all you Guild Wars 2 players out there, even for those of you that do not play Guild Wars 2. I am going to take off now. It's almost midnight here. I'm going to get some shut-eye and, yeah, continue farming in the morning. I've really released my Warfronts first impressions stream, which was a long one. I think I did 2 Warfronts. For those of you that play WoW, you can go check it out. And I will see you guys over the weekend. So that's it from me, you guys. Thanks so much for hanging out. I appreciate your company. And I will see you soon. Hit the like button if you enjoyed it. And if you're new here, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I cover everything. MMOs, Guild Wars 2, World of Warcraft, all the good stuff. News, discussion videos, reviews, more streams. And I will try and stream more on YouTube, because I've been doing a lot on Twitch. I'm trying to balance it out. So maybe 2 streams on Twitch, 1 stream on YouTube. That's 3 streams a week, and I cannot commit. I'm just putting it out there. That's something I want to do. I just can't commit. We'll see how that goes. Alright guys, I'm out of here. Take care. Thanks for watching.